The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
We know the Jets are interested in trading up, but we now might know the player and the team that they apparently are in conversations with. We'll break down the latest report from SNY. Joe Blewett will join me just 2 days till the NFL draft in Pittsburgh. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish it could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show, presented by PrizePicks. Click the like button and make sure, if you haven't subscribed, that you subscribe to my channel. You already know the drill. 2 days from now, NFL draft in Pittsburgh. We're throwing a draft party. RSVP if you're coming out to McFadden's, located right down the street from where all the festivities are taking place, and the weather is supposed to be beautiful on Thursday for those coming to Pittsburgh. So looking forward to seeing so many of you. Doors open at noon. We'll be there during the day doing a live show, and I'll be there again at night after the Jets make their picks to react to all of it after night one. With that, we say hello right now to our guy, Joe Blewett, who joins us. And Joe, no film review today. We're just talking Jets draft. You've studied all the players, and it's finally almost here.
Yeah, I think it's my first show. This is probably my, I don't even know, 40th show at this point, and this is the first time I've never had to do a review, so I'm going to just feel like a normal person, which is excellent. We are, 51 hours and 49 minutes away. It cannot get here soon enough. Again, we've been debating this since October, so other fans are like drawn out now, like, oh my God, we can't deal with this, and they've been only doing it for 3 or 4 months. Try 6. So this is getting brutal, but we're 2 days away.
2 days, 3 hours, 49 minutes, and 23 seconds away, Joe Blewett. So
there you go.
We are almost there. Real quick, let me mention this. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, episode number 5 of the Jets Collective will be live on the Jets Collective YouTube channel. Join me, Rich Samini, and Brandon Tierney as we talk all things Jets. We'll cover Muji's presser from earlier, plus the 3 of us are going to be doing a live mock draft on the air, and we'll break down the Jets and, of course, all the options for the Jets in this draft on Thursday. Again, Jets Collective tonight at 8 p.m. on the Jets Collective YouTube channel. Joe, I'm going to play you right now a report from Connor Hughes of SNY discussing what he believes the Jets are currently working on in regards to moving up in this draft Thursday night.
Yeah, I've talked to some teams that are picking in front of the Jets, and they've said they've talked to Darren Muji, who's done some original preliminary conversations about what it would cost to move up. And the assumption from talking to one source specifically is that the Jets are interested in moving up for a receiver. I think there was some hope originally that Jordyn, Tyson, the Arizona State wideout, might fall to them at 16. Mm-hmm. It's very clear that that's not happening, Chelsea. Talking to multiple people around the league, he is the no doubt wide receiver 1 in this year's class. Probably the only receiver in this year's class that has legitimate wide receiver 1 potential. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be there at 16. So if the Jets want him, they're going to have to move up, and they have a ton of ammunition to do it. The spot I would keep an eye on is the Kansas City Chiefs at 9, because we all know, and there's rumors out there that the Giants like Jordyn Tyson. So if the Jets are looking for a spot to jump in front of somebody, not have to give up too much, and ensure they get their guy to complement Garrett Wilson, that's the spot to do it.
Okay, so the Jets are doing some homework. They're making calls. And for those who aren't aware how the process works, I've heard Mike Tannenbaum say this before. Other GMs have said this. You basically get a lot of the details of the trade worked out in advance. So if the board breaks a certain way, you then already have the deal basically done. Maybe you got to sweeten something here or there, but the parameters of the trade are typically worked out in advance. I'm wearing a Darrelle Revis t-shirt today. Jets traded up famously to get Darrelle Revis. Mike Tannenbaum has said before they had that deal worked out 48 hours prior to the draft, if Revis was there, the Jets were going to come all the way up and go and get him. So these things are being worked out as we speak. We got just 2 days to go till the draft. But what do you think of the idea of the Jets coming up for a weapon, Joe? Let's start there.
Yeah, for a weapon in general, I'm very down for it. Obviously, we'll hit on Tyson in a little bit. A lot of the talk has been about Tate, and I'm very willing to move up for Tate. I'm definitely a little bit more of an outlier with Tate, with how much I like him. He's my second overall player in the draft for the Jets. Not by just their position, because I think like Downs is a better player than Tate, right? But in terms of value and all that stuff, Tate's my number 2. So if you could trade up to 7 for Tate and maybe throw in an extra 4th, I'd rather do that than a Jordyn Tyson or even like a Lemon. Like, hey, if Lemon's sitting there at 12, 13, you got some inkling that maybe like the Rams or whoever else is there is going to take them. Can you flip maybe like 2 4ths or something like that for a Lemon? That's a very real possibility too. Just because like I want to legit, and I get like the talk is like, oh, the Jets can't trade up for a receiver too. My problem is with the other receivers, I think a lot of them could be 3s, right? Like I don't love Cooper. I think usually he's a late first, probably early second guy to mid second guy in most drafts. I don't love Boston. I don't love Brazel. I don't love like the second tier of options. So I feel like, and they'll be more, they'll fit more into like that receiver 3 type of category for the Jets, where I feel like the only legit guys who I know who could be legitimate receiver 2s are Tyson, Lemon, and Tate. So I'm more than willing to move up for them. I get wanting the picks and hoping that the second round pick can be some slam dunk. More times than not, they're not slam dunks. So if I could secure Arvell, Reese, or Bailey at 2 and then get a stud receiver who's going to, no doubt about it, fill that number 2 spot instead of hoping that guys in the second round can do it, I'm willing to be aggressive if I'm the Jets and get your running mate for Garrett Wilson, because he really hasn't had much help around him to take like the attention off them and things like that.
What do you make of the comments there that Connor said in all these conversations with people on the receivers, Jordyn Tyson is no doubt wide receiver 1? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills when I hear that, because I think Carnell Tate's the best receiver in this class.
Yeah. Like, who was he talking to? Like, does he have 1 or 2 sources? Like, who he asked like film questions to? Like, how many people is he polling for that? Because we've been on Twitter and we've been in this draft game for 6 months now, and there are some people who have Tyson as their receiver 1. Admittedly, he's my receiver 3 with no injuries, but I recognize that he has the highest ceiling of all the receivers in the class. He moves unlike Tate or Lemon do. So if he's healthy, he gets a little bit more nuance to his route running, consistency with his route running. He definitely has the highest ceiling, but rep to rep, I didn't love his film. So he was receiver 3. So to me, he's not, no doubt about it, receiver 1. Now, if you're talking about who has the highest ceiling in the class and who could be a bona fide number 1 receiver for an offense, then yeah, sure, it's Tyson. But we don't just do evaluations based on the ceiling. Obviously, we have to consider the floor and what we saw. And to me, Jordyn Tyson was receiver 3 with no injuries. With the injuries right now, and again, transparently, I'm working with little information, right? Like, I haven't seen an X-ray, I haven't seen an MRI. I'm not a doctor. I wouldn't know how to read it anyway. He's my receiver 5 because of all those injuries.
Wow.
Now, listen, but transparently, if he went to the Jets, he went to his pro day, he's healthy, he has clean medicals, easily my 3. But with the injuries, it really, really sketches me out. And this is the week of like smoke screens, and guys are being talked about higher than they're supposed to be. And Tyson was like a mid first round guy, and then he does a workout where he runs like 2 routes, and now he's talked about in the top 10. And so I don't really know exactly what to believe. I like Tyson quite a bit, but I rather trade up for a guy who hasn't missed about. Again, don't get me on the number here, but I think about 40% of his college snaps he's missed. So I'm not trading up for a guy who may not be on the field, especially with MetLife's turf, our history of injuries, which shouldn't really factor in, but it does to me. So yeah, Tyson's not the clear-cut number 1, no doubt about it. To me, that's Tate, but I think you can have an argument for either one of the top 3 guys being the number 1 in this class.
I would probably not love the idea of trading up for Tyson because of the injury stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't kill the Jets if they did it. They obviously are looking at the medicals more than we are. One of the hits I saw that he injured his knee on when he was at Colorado, he took like a dirty hit low to his knee. Like that could happen to any player. But, when a guy's been hurt every year he's played, that is part of the evaluation. There's no way it can't be. So we'll see what the medicals say. Again, he wasn't healthy enough to participate at the Combine or the Arizona State Pro Day. He did a pro day of his own couple days back, and according to the reports, that went well. But that's against hair with that routine, so there's some concerns. I find it interesting that Kansas City, though, is apparently the team to watch, according to SNY's Connor Hughes. If you're the Jets and you're trying to get up in front of the Giants now, that's a fascinating conversation, because you look at how the board could play out. You look at the draft order here. We know for a fact the run on wide receiver potentially could start at 5 with the Giants. If they don't do it there, they certainly have 10 to do it. But then you have Cleveland at 6, Washington at 7, New Orleans at 8, 9 is Kansas City, and then 10 is now the Giants. And we know they certainly are in on a wide receiver, and they've been linked to Tyson, as you heard Connor say in that report. So if the Jets want one of these guys, it does feel like they're going to have to move up, or if they're comfortable just sticking around and waiting at 16, you just don't know who's actually going to be left at that point.
Yeah, and 16, like I said, if those 3 guys are gone and it's like a more it's Cooper or it's Concepcion, like those are both reaches in my opinion at that spot. So then we're talking about maybe it's like a Fano you can kick into guard, or maybe it's a Vega. I know you're not the biggest on Vega, but at the end of the day, like I'm not reaching for need. I'm just going to take the better player.
I trade
at
out of
16.
Pick. Yeah, Detroit needs a tackle. All of a sudden, all these teams know that. Find a team that's trying to get in front of the Lions who need a tackle and move down.
But what if your GM Jake Asman, they hang up the phone and said, no, screw your 16th pick. We don't want it. Then it's like Cooper, it's Concepcion. Sadiq.
I probably would take Cooper.
I don't even think Vega's going to be there, dude. Like honestly, like looking at the Ravens at 14, like they're such a Vega team where they're just going to take the best player. They don't care about position of need or like positional importance type deal, and they'll just take Vega. So I don't even think he would be on the board. So yeah, it might be like Cooper versus Sadiq versus Concepcion versus some other out there offense. Maybe it's like a Proctor from Alabama. They can move him into guard. I don't know what's going to happen at 16. Me personally, I feel like I'm not going to love whatever option is there. So again, I like the idea of nailing all the picks. It's just not reality. So if I could take one of those picks the second round and trade up and secure my guy or one of the guys that I really like, I'm doing that personally because I think they're at least a double. Where these guys, realistically, again, guys who should probably be more of a second round guys, they can completely flame out. And I'm not saying that Lemon or Tyson or Tate can't, but I think the chance is so much less so with those guys. And I'm expecting more in year one with those guys that it's worth a second, a fourth, a fifth, whatever it's going to take to get up. The only problem is I've heard obviously a lot about the Chiefs in this show, and recently it's been the Commanders too. I don't think Tate's going to be there. I'm nervous. I think Tate goes in that 4, 5, 6 range. I think Titans is the conversation about Tate. I think they probably go Love, even though I don't think that's the smartest move in the world. The Giants need a receiver as well. The Browns need a receiver desperately. So I think that Tate's probably gone in that stretch. And it's like, crap. Me personally, I don't want to trade up for an injured receiver. And again, whatever the medicals say, they say. The workout videos, people get hyped up. We haven't watched football in quite a bit. There were routes on air, and the one he just completely unnecessarily jumped to show his vertical. He didn't need to jump there. But if you watch those videos, and I don't want to be like that alarmist on Twitter, but it's almost the same thing with Garrett Wilson. Do you see how explosive his lower body is? It sketches me out with how he moves with his lower body in accordance with his injuries, right? Because his legs aren't always aligned, and he's putting a lot of pressure on his knees and his ACL and things like that. So he does sketch me out a little bit. So I'm not trading up for him. But I was actually just on top of I think the Rams are at 13? If you had that order again, sorry. So if you could trade up and even get a Lemon, I don't think it would cost a second round pick at that point. Maybe it costs like a second. They give you back a third or something like that. But I'm definitely moving up for Tate or Lemon over Tyson. And again, it's just the injuries. They scare the hell out of me.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Should the Jets trade up for a wide receiver in this draft class, or do you want them just to stick and pick at 16? I think the Jets are either moving up or they're moving back. I don't see, just based on how we think the board is playing out here, barring, Mekhi Lemon falls into their lap, and I just don't see Mekhi Lemon being there at 16. I don't see how the Jets could just stay at 16. Like, I think if you're Darren Muji, who loves to make trades, you're either moving up or you're moving down. Find a team that needs a tackle, find a team that wants one of the offensive linemen that falls to you in that spot, and move out of that pick. Like, get out of 16, move back a couple spots, get that third round pick they don't have right now, and let's take Denzel Boston or Casey and Concepcion or maybe Omar Cooper if we move back into the lower 20s with a team that's trying to come up to get their offensive tackle.
Yeah, I would feel so much more comfortable with those guys like late first round, mid 20s or something like that than 16. They're just not. None of those guys are personally worth it to me. I like Concepcion more than most, and I saw veteran Jets fan was saying Connor Rogers has him as 49th prospect or whatever. No disrespect to Connor, I couldn't care less where people rank their prospects. I don't care. I watch them myself. I have him, as my receiver. Like again, realistically, Jordyn Tyson's probably receiver 3. Especially with like some of the injuries talk kind of dwindling with him. So call Concepcion my receiver 4. I like him a lot, but I think 16 would be a reach. Now, can they trade down from that spot? It depends. Like who is somebody trading up for? Obviously, that. So that's not a guarantee. So yeah, if I could be aggressive, I'm 100% down for it. I just don't want to settle for and no offense to anybody who likes Tennessee, but like the Brazels, the Bernards, the Coopers in the late first. Again, I think those guys project more in 2026 as the receiver 3 on this team. And I'd rather get the 2 who could be more of like a 1A to Garrett Wilson. Like it's valuable, right? Like a lot of people are, you can't take a receiver 2 in the first round or in the top 16, whatever it is. Like what is T Higgins? He got re-upped, right? Like what is his contract right now? So if you can get a stud number 2 for trading up in the number 7 pick, whatever it is, like it's worth it financially too. Like you're getting 5 years of control. And even if he is just a really good 2 or like a lower 1, he's going to get $35 million. Like Alec Pierce, who is a number 2, just got 29.5. So if you can get a receivers better than that and probably worth, again, how do you quantify it? But let's say Tate's $35 million a year. To me, that's worth it in the top 10. And I don't think Tate is Neighbors. I don't think he is Harrison or anything like that. Again, I think he's more in like that Garrett Wilson, Drake London type of prospect coming out of college. But if you can guarantee me he's going to get 1,000, 1,100 yards every year, 7, 8, 9 touchdowns, it's perfectly it's worth it to me instead of trying to hope that another receiver could be that.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Epic giveaway today. Yesterday we gave away a signed helmet by Chad Pennington and Curtis Martin. At the end of the show, a signed helmet by Garrett Wilson. Enter for your chance to win by gifting your fellow Asmaniac a membership or sending in a super chat, $10 or higher. That qualifies. For every $10 super chat, you give yourself 2 raffle entries. When you do that, you're in the weekly raffle, which I'm planning for this Sunday, the day after the NFL draft. Full-sized Broadway Joe Namath helmet, Nick Mangold signed helmet, Darrelle Revis signed helmet, Garrett Wilson signed helmet, and a Mason Taylor signed helmet. Those are the prizes in the weekly raffle. Shout out to everyone who supports the show. We're stepping it up draft weekend with 5 prizes in that raffle. All right. I'm going to play you something that the Mooj said earlier today. This was Darren Mooj being asked about the canceled David Bailey top 30 visit. Joe, I know you haven't heard this yet, so we'll get your initial reaction in real time.
Say this, with top 30s, every team uses them differently and has different ways of using that mechanism. Some don't even use the top 30s at all, right? I would say for us, when we do top 30s, every single player and case is different. Sometimes I want this player to meet with our player engagement department. Sometimes I want this player to meet with our sports performance. Sometimes it's purely medical. Sometimes it's a recruiting process. Sometimes it's a smoke screen. And in regards to David, we had good touch points with him at the Combine. We went to his pro day, had a good dinner with him, and we were just kind of juggling our 30 and how to use them, and I wouldn't look too much into a cancellation because there was other ones that we may have changed as well.
Did Mooj not nail that answer? He gave you every scenario. He actually was honest, which these GMs typically aren't. He acknowledged that sometimes they're just smoke screens, which you feel bad if you're like a player who's just being brought in to a facility for the day and you have no chance of actually going there. But I think Mooj handled that beautifully. But what do you make of, 1, that answer, and 2, what it actually means for David Bailey and the Jets?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, right? I don't know the last first-round Jets draft pick that was not brought in for a 30 visit. I know Membu was, I know Fashanu was, and I believe most of the draft picks they've had have been. And to me, like, you want to gain all the information you could possibly gain or gather on these guys, especially when you're talking about the number 2 pick in the draft. So it did feel a little bit weird that they canceled it, but like you said, maybe it's a smokescreen. To me, a lot of the noise the last like few weeks has been like, okay, we're taking Reese, and the Jets, that does them no benefit for everybody to know that. So I think they started to trickle out some Bailey stuff potentially, especially after you hear the Cowboys are interested in trading up or whoever's interested in trading up. I think the Jets over the last week or two have been trying to drum up some of the Bailey interest in hopes that a team trades up to number 2 for Bailey, which would be the ideal scenario realistically. Like I like Reese quite a bit, and I like him quite a bit more than Bailey. But if you could tell me, hey, they move down to 4 or 5, gain a second round pick or whatever it may be, and you could still take a Tate or a Bain or a Downs or Styles or whatever your preference is, that would be my preference. But I do think it's been a little bit of a smokescreen the last 2 weeks with some of the Bailey news. I still am pretty cemented at being Reese, but it did feel odd that they canceled the 30 visit with him. And then on top of that, and we know it's a smokescreen, but I don't know if I've ever heard, or could be a smokescreen. I don't know if I've ever heard a GM say, yeah, it could be a smokescreen. Like I don't think I've ever heard that. So definitely interesting, and I like how just transparent, how honest he's being.
And he talked so much there, he never actually answered the question on why Bailey specifically had his top 30 visit canceled. You know what I mean? Like Muji's getting better at this this GM speak. If only Glenn could learn how to properly speak to the media and not create a ridiculous headline for no good reason.
Yeah, he says a lot without saying anything, Muji, and you get like some good nuggets, but he still didn't answer the question specifically about Bailey. Again, it sets off some alarm bells in my head, like, hey, why not get as much time as you possibly could with the guy who's the number 2 pick and see him around your staff and get into some film and get into some scheme and whatever else it may be. The odds have flipped again. Last night it was minus 360 for Reese, and now it's like plus 155. And the only thing I saw today, and again, obviously I work midnight, so I just got up and came downstairs to do this, but I saw that Schrager again mocked Bailey, and is that what flipped the odds again? I don't know. I bet 100 on it to get like 210 if Reese is the pick, so I'm hoping he is. Again, I'd be a little bit disappointed if it's Bailey. I understand if it is him, don't love it, but it is what it is. We have again 50 something hours to go here. I'm ready for it to be over.
If it is Bailey, do you think Robbie Sabo will cry himself to sleep Thursday night?
Yeah, you said we were talking the other day, and you're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be you versus Frankie for years to come. Like, no, just make it Robbie versus Frankie. Like, I don't want to be involved in all this stuff. I really don't. Robbie's not going to be happy. I won't be happy either, just transparently, just because Bailey does feel like more of like a low 9-10 mid first round type of guy to me, more so than being the number 2 overall pick. I don't think he's guaranteed to get you 10 plus sacks a year. I think that's bullshit from any prospect coming out. You can't just guarantee that. And then I worry about his floor being a DPR who doesn't play the run very well. He's only playing 40% of the snaps like he did his 3rd year at Stanford, where they took him off the field for rundowns. And then Reese is out there in 2 or 3 years and dominating because he hits he reaches his ceiling. And I think Muji talked a little bit about that today too, or like talking about the ceiling and projection with these guys. So they then kind of, if you're a Reese guy, they've thrown enough tidbits out there where you can kind of grasp onto it and say, okay, yeah, I think they like Reese, talking about projection, talking about the ceiling, Aaron Glenn talking about versatility in the defense and things like that. So I do still think they go there. I wouldn't hate Bailey, not as much as Sabo would. I would be disappointed though, transparently.
You're part of Arvell's army. It's okay. You could say it. You're not a Bailey, though.
I think you're part of Arvell's army at this point as well, Jake.
I'm playing the neutral line, so I can support either prospect.
Yes, you can go back and clip it. Like, no, look, I had some good Bailey takes as well. Which
I'm a like Bailey bro.
Dude, it's that point at the offseason where I'm seeing the same guys who criticize. Let's just say it's Simpson. He's an easy name. People who criticize Simpson now are now glazing him up because they can go back and quote tweet themselves and be like, yeah, see, I was on Simpson. Delete all their old tweets. So yeah, this is being drawn out. People's opinions are flip flopping. Smoke screens, Jordyn Tyson potentially smoke screen. There's another one recently where a guy has been really, really hyped up, and I forget his name off the top of my head. You got the corner from Tennessee, right? McCoy, who might need to have another surgery. Is that a smoke screen? Is that legit? I don't know if you could lie about stuff like that. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of that, but there's so many things flying around right now. There's been guys who drop who we don't think are going to drop. Guys who go earlier than we think they will. It happens every year. So I'm so ready the next Tuesday to start like breaking down second, third, fourth round prospects. Whoever the first round pick is, we'll probably go back to him a little bit. But Yeah, no more guessing in about 48 hours.
I love you, Robbie Sabo. I'm going to take care of you today and always until end of time. You got some crazy ass hair, bro.
Arvell's Army, assemble in Pittsburgh. It all begins Thursday night.
I think they did Robbie dirty with that haircut, though. That was like a little bit more like Ellen than it is Sabo. So a little bit dirty with the haircuts. You might need to fix that in Chat GBT or wherever the hell that video is from.
So you made a comment before about people flip-flopping. I want to just put up on a screen here the timeline of Todd McShay
there you go.
completely soiling himself during the pre-draft process. All right. This is April 15th. Todd McShay says, quote, "Now we're back to David Bailey, and it's close to a foregone conclusion in NFL circles." April 16th. If I had to put my own money on it right now, it would be heavily on David Bailey. April 17th. I sent out a text, and the answer I got back was, "We canceled the David Bailey meeting." So I sent a follow-up text asking what the deal is. Crickets. April 18th. Flying to LA early tomorrow morning. I'm going to bed believing Arvell Reese is the Jets pick at 2. April 19th. Last Sunday, I said I wasn't decided. Now here's my information. It's Arvell Reese at number 2. April 21st. That's today. I'm now of the belief that New York views Bailey, a proven pass rusher, as a safer pick than Reese. Todd McShay, your hamstrings have to be killing you from the level of backpedaling that we have seen over the last week and change.
Yeah, and the only thing I want to contest there is like and we talked about this last week too, but like the safer pick based on what? Like as a rusher, he's the safer pick. Okay, I guess sure, but there's obviously much more to being an NFL outside linebacker edge than just rushing the pass, which I think is something that's been like weird on Twitter. It's like, oh, he's off the ball linebacker. He's not an edge. He's an outside linebacker. An outside linebacker is an edge. Like, can we stop with that? Especially in a 3-4. Like, Jake, do you consider TJ Watt an edge? Like, yes, he's an outside linebacker in a 3-4, so he stands up sometimes, but he's still an edge. So if you're saying he's an outside linebacker, you're saying he's an edge. So I've seen some people say at the same time he's not an outside linebacker, or he's an outside linebacker, he's not an edge. It's like, what, you're contradicting yourself there. Like, what are you saying? Unless you're saying the Jets are on a 4-3. But yeah, the backpedaling from Ashay, the backpedaling from so many big media people who will be like, oh, I like Bailey, I like Bailey, I like Bailey. And now, 2 days ago, oh, I like Reese, or I like Bailey better, but Reese is the better fit for the Jets. So part of my problem with a lot of the big media people is I feel like they try to have takes that aren't going to piss people off, and they just try to go with the wind. And nobody's really comfortable with like standing out on their own opinions. So like Omar Cooper, right, Jake? And you're not the biggest draft guy in the world, and I like that you'll admit that. Like, yeah, I didn't watch the tape on these guys or whatever else it is, but like Cooper came out of nowhere, and then suddenly everybody in the draft community is talking about Cooper over 2 weeks. It's like, why were you guys not talking about him? If you watched him 2-3 weeks ago, why weren't you talking about him then? So everybody just tends to ride with the wind. And that's what really bothers me about draft season is just, I don't know, like the for lack of a better term, like the cuckiness of it. I'm just ready for it to be done.
All right. We got a lot still to get into here, including Asmaniac Madness, and we have a spot in the Final Four on the line today between the defending champion, Mr. Bonesy, an underdog in this one against the 1 seed, Gary 3D Boxing. Yesterday, Joe, I was telling you off air, we needed overtime to determine who was going to represent the dangerous alliance region. Congratulations to Big Fella. What a performance him and Leany put on yesterday. We'll see if Gary and Mr. Bonesy can live up to the hype. Tomorrow on the show, I'll be live in Pittsburgh from my hotel room. We'll have Gorman and PBM for a spot in the Final Four, and then the tournament will be paused until the following Tuesday, as we'll pause for comprehensive Jets draft coverage all weekend long. So we will open up poll voting in just a bit, but I had to pull up a tweet from Lige Duzable, who I know you and him have gone back and forth a lot on the Bailey Reese conversation. Yeah. I'm going to put up a tweet. I want your take on it here. So Lige tweeted, quote, "You know what I think is real funny about the debate between Bailey or Reese is that people that have faith in Coach Dunbar to turn Reese into a pass rush monster don't have the same energy when it comes to Coach Dunbar helping Bailey with his technique in the run game. Because when you watch the tape, it's a technique thing with Bailey, and also how Texas Tech had him aligned head up over the offensive tackles, which he won't be doing. I just find that hilarious because Dunbar helped me just as much or more in my run defense than he did in my pass rush. Break this down for me. Your thoughts as someone who obviously studied both these guys extensively.
Yeah. It's one it's just a technique thing with Bailey. I think is a little bit of a reach. Like I've seen him get thrown out of the club because of bad technique. So it's not just he was in a bad spot. And obviously part of being in the spot he was in is like it's not a very pro style type of defense. So he's going to be asked to do different things. So he's to learn a new defense. And part of the thing with like playing him as a 4 tech or a 5 is they gave him like gap exchanges and things like that, like letting him penetrate the B gap, and then the linebacker will like exchange, then he'll play the edge or something like that. So he had a little bit more freedom to do whatever he wanted with Texas Tech. And I thought it was interesting. And I sent it to you last week. Like it's something that both Sabo and I have been critical of him, where he kind of freelances at times and he puts his teammates in a bad spot. And he was breaking down a play. He's like, yeah, I just guessed here. And I was hopeful that my teammates would pick up the slack if I was wrong or whatever. And like, yeah, that's great against, whoever, UCF or something like that, but it's not going to be great against the Bills. So he's definitely, I don't think he's as bad in the run game as Sabo thinks he is. That's just me personally. I think in a more aggressive attack front like the Titans, he could be okay in the run game. That's his ceiling, in my opinion, is okay in the run game. But to just say it's technique, just purely technique in the run game, I think is him glazing his guy a little bit that he loves. I think we have to be okay whether we like Reese, whether we like Bailey, whether we like Tyson, whether we like Lemon, we have to be able to acknowledge the flaws in the people that we're propping up as well, right? So if you're saying that Bailey, it's just a technique thing, I think his arm is hurting from reaching there because I've seen him get tossed out of the club because of, or sorry, not just a technique thing, it's just an alignment thing. I've seen him get tossed out of the club plenty of times because of bad technique, and I'm worried about the base. And his lack of power. He'll get moved by tight ends and stuff. So the concern for Bailey, for me, and we've been talking about this for 3 months now, is again, a somewhat limited rusher in terms of all of the traits you want for speed, right? Again, and I've talked about this plenty. He wins with speed. He wins with a variety of rush moves. My biggest problem with Bailey rushing the passer is typically when you're a speed rusher, that is accompanied by 2 things. It's accompanied by bend. He doesn't have the best bend. So he's going to win really, really cleanly around the corner to then flatten and get to the quarterback. Doesn't have that bend. Secondarily, or not even secondarily, but secondly, he doesn't have lateral athleticism. So typically, if you're a speed rusher and you can get a guy to overset on you, you could cross his face with that lateral athleticism. Bailey does not have that. So Bailey's going to have to consistently win with technique around the corner. He has to win very cleanly. And I don't know if that's going to work at the NFL level. It can, but to guarantee 10 plus sacks is, again, quite a reach for me with Bailey. And then kind of looking more towards the floor. What if he doesn't rush? What if he's not rushing or he's not playing on rundowns? Like that's the biggest concern with him. Again, Reese is 20 projection, all that stuff. I get it. I don't think you're crazy if you want Bailey at 2. To me, I'd be disappointed, but I understand it. But when you're at 2, I'm swinging for the stars there with Reese. I don't think any of these guys at the top are really worth that number 2 pick. I think if Reese, again, projection, and whoever's going to say it, I get it. And no doubt about it, it's part of it. So you have to think in the future a little bit. But if Reese went back to Ohio State this year, played full-time DN to gain another 10 pounds of muscle, I think he's no doubt about it, surefire, the pick after the quarterback. So I'm swinging for the stars with Reese. But yeah, just to say it's where he aligned thing is a little bit of a reach from Doozable. And we've been known to go at it a little bit, which is okay.
Yo Home says, yeah, the former NFL player is wrong. X Factor nerds are right. Got it.
Yeah, it's a thing that's appeal to authority. So if Doozable likes Bailey over Reese, what happens when another former NFL player likes Reese over Bailey? Does Yo Holmes' head explode because he can't figure out what side to brown nose? And with that being said, talk about just Doozable specifically. Doozable was also the one who gassed up Carter Warren and then went at me for going at Carter Warren. And Carter Warren, I don't know if he's in the NFL anymore. So yeah, he got me on Carter Warren. He was so right about him being a future starter for the Jets, and I was so wrong about calling him trash. So there you go, Yo Holmes again. Does your brain explode when 2 former players disagree? Because we had to appeal to authority. They know better than all.
Get his ass, Joe Blewett. Let's go. Yeah. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. We are presented by PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code HMA. And when you do that and you put in $5, you're going to get $50 available in bonus bets. I'm still waiting for the full information on Yankees Red Sox to put together an official card, but I already know what 2 of the plays are going to be. You have to bet the strikeout number with Judge. Just that's been hitting at a high level. So 1 strikeout, go more on strikeouts for Aaron Judge. And then from a Boston Red Sox perspective, a batter strikeout name to watch. Let me see if he's in the lineup. I want to confirm it. Make sure you take Rafaela, the Red Sox center fielder, to strike out at least once. He's 1 for 7 in his career against Luis Gil, who's starting for the Yankees. So that would be the 2 that I would put together. If you do that, as I'm putting together on the fly here, it'd be $10 to win $17. So that is my official prize pick play for Yankee Red Sox tonight. We're going Judge more than 1 strikeout, and we're going Rafaela more than 1 strikeout. I'll put together the lineup slip. You can follow me at Jake Asman. You can see it for yourself over on PrizePicks. It is a 2-pick. That's right, a 2-pick power play via PrizePicks. Download the app. Where is it? Putting it up on my screen right now. And everyone look at your screen. There it is. Here's my official picks. Again, $10 to win 17, $1K from Judge, $1K from Rafaela, and boom, you're all set. Make your own picks, PrizePicks. Download the app, code HMA. All right, some super chats I want to hit here. David D in the raffle for 4. He writes in, Jake and Joe, what's your take on the NFL Network report that Tennessee corner Jermod McCoy might need another knee surgery to repair a bone plug? Do you think this is legit or a smokescreen report? How far do you think he will fall? Well, Joe, here's the thing. If all the teams have access to the same medicals, these teams will know if it's real or not, no?
Yeah. Yeah, can you imagine like somebody's like making up a report and then everybody goes back to their medicals? Like, no, that's not what needs to happen. If it does, like McCoy, from everything I've seen, and again, I didn't watch a lot of the offensive tackles. I didn't watch the corners in this draft because I just don't think it's very realistic for the Jets, even though it honestly may be based on how the board falls. But McCoy, from people I trust, seems to be like the best corner in terms of talent and upside and all that stuff, where Delane's a little more safe because of the lack of injuries and stuff. So it almost feels like if he does have to get that surgery, maybe like a Jeffrey Simmons type situation many years ago, where he kind of knew he was going to miss his entire rookie season, but his upside was crazy high. So I think he'd probably still go, early second, maybe mid second, even possibility of like late first because of how talented he is. But it's not a thing where you can just like smoke screen an injury. So it's either real or it's not. And if it's real, I think because of the talent, he's probably going, early to mid second if I had to guess.
I would hope to God the Jets don't take him at 16.
Yeah. No, I think Delane might be in the conversation. I know people don't want to hear that. We can have the corner, conversation. I've heard your thoughts on it. To me, you take the best player, and it's not just for this year. It's for years. Obviously, right? It's for 2027, 2028.
Fine. If Delane is there, I'll make the exception because he's comped to Stingley. So okay, I'm in on that, but he's not getting to 16.
I don't think so either. You're looking at the Cowboys, who need a corner. The Dolphins also need a corner. They're not just guaranteed to take a receiver. Because to me, listen, I don't want a corner either. Like, I definitely do not. I'd rather just some stud receiver or stud tight end or even a guard over a corner. But at the end of the day, like, Nashawn Wright is here for $3.5 million, whatever it is, right? So he's not going to be here in 27. Stevens, not here in 27. AZ Thomas, we have no idea if he's going to be a starter in the future. So yeah, if we had a bunch of guys locked up to 2, 3, 4 year deals, fine. And even Brownlee, like you swung a 6th or 7th round pick for him. So it's not like you invested a ton there. They invested some there, but not a ton, not enough to say, yeah, if some stud falls at 16, we absolutely cannot take him. Again, it's not my preference, but I think it's maybe a realer possibility than people think it is. But like you said, I don't think Delane is falling there. And I think he's the only one who would be considered unless McCoy came back with a clean bill of health, which it doesn't seem like he's going to have. So it's probably Delane or bust there. I don't think he's there anyway. So we can talk about, Vega or Sadiq or Cooper or whoever else is going to be there.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Are we ready to vote in Asmaniac Madness? We know what Gary represents. We know what Bonesy represents. A message from each candidate before we get things underway.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you make multiple accounts and vote 50 times for Gary 3D Boxing.
And then this. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to vote. The defending champ, Mr. Bonesy, the 1 seed in the extraordinary region, Gary 3D Boxing. Your vote determines who advances to the Final Four. Ladies and gentlemen, voting is underway.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? You get to pick the ones that make the show rock. I'm legit, average you.
Vote, 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 baby. It's all happening. Let's see if Gary's run will come to a close like it did last year against Mr. Bonesy in the Final Four. I had Boomtown look up the score last year because I remember it being close, and it was 51-49 Bonesy defeating Gary, or it might have been 52-48, but it was really close is my point. So both these guys, OGs of the show, been calling forever, and I wish them both the best of luck in the battle that is officially underway. Some other super chats, then we'll get to your calls. This one is from Peter Pins, who writes in, I'm really hoping this is a giant smokescreen. I want Reese with the number 2 overall pick, and we should also draft a receiver with our number 16 pick. Well, if they stick and pick, the positions they are most likely to draft are exactly wide receiver at 16, and then obviously one of the defensive players at 2.
Yeah, like I said with receiver, Conception and Cooper are like the floor of what I would be okay with at 16, but I'm not going to be jumping for joy with those guys at 16. So, and I get wanting the picks, man, but I'll be really excited if they trade up for Tate. Like if that happens, I like him a lot more than other people do, and I think he's just so safe. And again, we can argue, well, he's a receiver too, and all this stuff. This isn't a normal draft, right? Like, I think in a normal draft, like if Neighbors was in this draft, he goes too, or there's no conversation. Or Marvin Harrison, he goes too, there's no conversation. But it's not a normal draft, so if you can go up and just get a stud receiver, have it solidified, and you're feeling really good about your offense at that point, right? Like if you add Tate and then with 33, you add like Pregnon or Basantis or something like that, and they have their entire offensive line set. You have your tight end 1, and I would still want a little bit more from tight end 2, but you have your running back, you have your receivers, you have your 1, 2, 3 there. Like, man, they could really do wonders for this offense, adding another legit receiver, and that's my problem with Cooper and Concepcion and Boston and whoever else. There's not as much of guarantees to me. And that's the other guy I was thinking about. Somebody brought it up in the chat. So I appreciate whoever brought it up. But Boston was the guy who was just rising this week. And it's probably your fault, Jake. It's okay. It's probably your fault with the Jets collective that you're talking. I think Samini said something like Boston might not be there at 16. Me personally, and again, transparency, I used to watch 12 games of all these guys. I used to watch their entire last season. But to get more content out, obviously Jake's show, more reviews and stuff like that, I started to watch 5 or 6 games of these guys. And maybe I chose the wrong 5 or 6 games of Boston where I didn't see as much of the contested catch stuff as some other people did. Boston at 16, I would, and I put out the GIF, I would vomit all over myself at 16 with Boston. I'm sorry. That would be such a reach to me. He's a 2nd round receiver all day, in my opinion. So, if it's Boston at 16, yuck. Again, I think Cooper and Concepcion are the floor, but I'm not going to be thrilled there. So it really depends, Peter Pins, on who is there at 16. Because if it's Cooper versus Vega, you don't want to hear this, I'm taking Vega.
The first 2 people that gifted a membership to enter the raffle, Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, who won a signed Curtis Martin and Chad Pennington helmet yesterday, and Marine Jet Vet, they are in each for 1 a pop. Again, Garrett Wilson signed helmet is the raffle prize. Let's go. Appreciate you, Marine, and thank you to Derek. Super chat from the Doc, who checks in. He says, if Bailey Ceiling turns out to be prime Hassan Reddick, would that be enough to draft him at 2? For me, it would not.
Well, Reddick was what, like for like 4 or 5 years there, he was like 12, 13, 14 sacks ish type guy, who didn't really play well in the run game. So I don't think that's like a bad outcome from Bailey.
2-time Pro Bowler, Hassan Reddick. He had 1, 2, 3, 4 double-digit sack seasons, and his career fell apart as these things usually do. When he became a Jet. But from 2020 to 2023, he had 50.5 sacks.
Yeah, that's honestly not the worst outcome in the world. Is it what I want exactly at 2? No, but if they take him, that's what he is. Then you in this class, you'd probably sign up for that. But I rather go, me personally, Doc, I rather go for the guy obviously who has the higher floor in the run game as well. And I know people don't want to hear about the run game, but it's a very real thing, right? Like you can't rush the passer if it's 2nd and 3 because Will McDonald and Bailey are out there all day getting ran all over. So their pass rush is going to be completely thwarted, where Reese and playing, and Sabo has said this, like you earn the right to rush the passer, so you have to play the run first. So I think Reese could have teams in 2nd and 8 and 3rd and 7s and 3rd and longs, where if you have Bailey McDonald, again, maybe they're just running the ball down your throat. So I'd rather have the more well-rounded player. And if McDonald wasn't here, I think it'd be more of a conversation. And I get it. Like I'm not skipping on Bailey for just McDonald, but it's part of the conversation where, and I put out that tweet and I saw you liked it, Jake, is like, I think McDonald on a normal team. And this is something where I tend to stray negative. I would say this is something I'm a little bit more positive on. I think McDonald on a normal team last year with normal circumstances where teams aren't taking 3-step drops and getting rid of the ball immediately, I think McDonald probably has 11 or 12 sacks last year, and the discourse around him is completely different. So I see him and Bailey kind of in the same light, not the same player, but in the same role. So I'm not like giving up on McDonald to bring in Bailey. And I'm only saying that because I don't think Bailey and McDonald fit on the field at the same time. And then you're going to have one of the first-round picks sitting on the bench a lot of times. Like, it just doesn't make sense for me. So I'm 100% a Reese guy. I'm not as low on Bailey as Sabo is, like I said, though.
Super chats cut the line. Bino says, summon the burners. 50-50 right now between Gary and Bonesy early on.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you make multiple accounts and vote 50 times for Gary 3D Boxing.
Jetstream checking in. If you were in the Jets draft room on day 3, who's the one name you'd be pounding the table for that nobody's really talking about yet?
Yeah, you got me there. I don't know if Jake has any names, but I'm about a round or two deep. So you're talking about 4th, 5th, 6th round. I'm not that guy. I could throw out a name like everybody else for the most part and just sound smart, but I don't know enough guys there to be like, yeah, I absolutely want this guy.
I'll throw out a name. You ready?
Go ahead.
Coogan, the center from Indiana. Pat Coogan.
Fine. Competition for is he like a 4th or a 5th round guy? Like, is he competition for Myers? Because I think that's something that's a little bit. Okay, yeah, I think that's been a little bit, maybe not under discussed. Like, we've been talking about this shit for 6 months, so we talk about it all, but maybe not discussed enough. Is like, I'm not just okay walking into the season next year with Myers as my starting center. Like, Myers was signed here to be a high-end backup or a very low-end starter. It's exactly what he was last year. He's a high-end backup, a low-end starter, but you don't just pencil him in as a starter. So to me, I'd really, really like to walk away with 3 of the first 4 picks being, interior offensive lineman, receiver, and then obviously, Reese or Bailey, preferably Reese for me. So I definitely want the offensive lineman. I think that's something that's a little bit overlooked. So if Coogan's a guy, 4th round or whatever, compete with Myers, fine. I'd like a little bit more there to really solidify themselves. Like, hey, you're the starting center or guard. But
33 could be a guard.
Coogan. Yeah, Basantis, you got Pregnon. Yep. So that's definitely a real possibility. And a lot of people with that conversation have been talking about Tippmann moving back to center. I wouldn't do that. Parham I'm pretty sure he's actually drafted by the Raiders to play center. I don't know, something happened with a guy stepping up or injuries or whatever it was, but then he moved to guard. So he's played left guard, center, and right guard. He's on a 1-year deal. Tippmann was better at guard than he was at center. You don't have to worry about the snap issues anymore that you had with Tippmann. So Tippmann stays at right guard no matter what for me. And if you draft a center, great. Parham stays at left guard.
Yep.
If you draft the left guard, then great. Parham moves to center. And one more thing in terms of, in terms of being positive, I actually like Parham quite a bit. I think he's like a mid-level starter on the interior of the offensive line. And if that's your worst link on the offensive line, then you have a really good offensive line. So I'd like to touch it up, get Basantis at 33 or whoever it is. And imagine a world where we do trade for Tate and you have Garrett Wilson, Tate, A.D. Mitchell, your entire starting offensive line with Basantis or something like that, stepping in and playing guard. Like, that's a hell of an offense to walk into. Now, do we have a quarterback? Do we have a head coach? None of it matters if we don't, but I would love to address the offensive line early in this draft as well.
Ricky NY checking in. He says, Jake, feel free to use the graphic I sent you on Discord. Better comp for Reese than Parsons. LFG Mooj. I also want to shout out Ricky, who I see gifted a channel membership. Thank you, Ricky. And Omar Ochoa also in our Garrett Wilson helmet raffle for 1. Let's go. So this is what Ricky sent me, a comp for Arvell Reese. You tell me if you agree or disagree with this comp. The comp is Clay Matthews. You can see the measurements up on the screen. Is the sack number there, Ricky? Is that their career sacks they had in college or their career sacks they had in their final season?
I'm assuming that's college.
Yeah, I just need the context. So is it like their entire collegiate career or is it just their final season? But either way, it's a pretty good comp, at least just looking at the measurables, it appears.
Yeah, I know your boy, and actually I like Will too. Will Parkinson has compared him to Clay Matthews, and I know Clay Matthews was used a little bit more in like coverage and stuff like that than like just like a full-time edge rusher who's going to get the quarterback. So I think that's kind of like his fallback plan. To me, again, I'm starting him more at the end and asking him to rush the passer and play with everything in front of him. 85-90% of the time. I would add in some versatility as his career goes on. Maybe he falls back into more of a Clay Matthews where the pass rush doesn't come as much as you'd like it to. And then you ask him to spy and do all the stunts and torch stunts and whatever else we can talk about, coverage in the flat and man coverage on running backs and things like that. So Clay Matthews was used more as a chest piece. So I think that's more of his fallback plan. And again, like the Parsons thing to me isn't, I think people are misconstruing that argument a little bit. I don't think it's about player one for one in terms of their traits. I think it's about, hey, they were linebackers in college. They didn't rush the passer a lot. They were then used to rush the passer at the NFL level. So I don't think it's a one for one comparison about who the player is. It's what they were asked to do. And that's the same thing with McDonald and Bailey. I'm not comparing Bailey to McDonald because they're the same player. They're unequivocally different. But it's about the role that they're playing in. So I would try to play him more in the Parsons role at the NFL level. And if, again, the pass rushing comes along a little slow, you drop him back into some more of the versatility stuff. So with Reese, the floor thing, his floor is being talked about too much, where like, oh, it's a low floor. I think his floor is actually pretty damn high just in terms of the run game type stuff. So I get it though. I get it. There's really not a perfect prospect in this draft. So if you like Bailey, again, I don't think you're crazy. If you like Reese, don't think you're crazy. I know Oscar the Grouch in here. He loves Tate. He wants Tate it too. I don't think you're crazy either there. But yeah, I think Clay Matthews is a good comparison, but more of a fallback plan for him. Because for me, more full-time D end, outside linebacker, edge, whatever you want to call it. And I'm making him gain, not making him, but I'm asking him to gain 10 pounds, be 250, and the strongest 250 you'll ever see, who can run a 4.4, chase that guys down. Again, a lot of this game is lateral in today's NFL, and he's going to shut down everything laterally on the edge for you. And that's a huge thing.
I mean, if you tell me he's Clay Matthews, that's
isn't he a Hall of Famer, Clay Matthews, or close to it?
Is he a Hall? I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame. I think he's a candidate though.
Okay, yeah, but he's
a
sniffing the Hall. Yeah, of course. I would sign me up, Ricky. I'll take Clay Matthews at so no doubt.
Yeah, Clay Matthews, 6-time Pro Bowler, obviously won the Super Bowl in 2010. Yeah. Made one All-Pro team. Was second in Defensive Player of the Year voting in 2010. I mean, look, he was an outstanding player. I think that's the type of swing you're trying to take when you're at 2.
Yeah, and to me, like more of his floor. I'm not gonna say this is his floor because his floor is he doesn't play in year 2 or 3 or whatever, which I really doubt. But to me, he seems like his floor is more, and this is maybe a little bit of a reach, but like a hybrid between like a Barr and a Clowney. Because I think he's a little bit bigger than Barr. He will be. And Clowney, who's a guy who's going to get you, 6, 7, 8 sacks a year, but be dominant in the run game. And I think that's more close to what his floor is than, he's just some bust who won't be on the field. You're swinging for the pass rush upside, and can he get you 10, 11, 12, 13 sacks in a year? I think it's very possible with him. But I think the run defense stuff is already really, really high level with him. So you're guaranteed with him to be good in the run game. Where with Bailey, for me personally, just there's no guarantee he's going to be plus at anything necessarily. So yeah, it's an interesting conversation. I don't know how many times I can say it. I'm just so looking forward to not 50 hours, 58 minutes, and we don't have to talk about it. Or 50 hours, 48 minutes, something like that, whatever it is.
Yeah, close enough. Ladies and gentlemen, Major Poonage has gifted 5 memberships. We're giving away a Garrett Wilson helmet at the end of the show, and the Poonage is in for 5.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
Oh, yeah. He also has a request. He's in for another 4 entries with this. Hit us with a La Puerta Negra, Jake. I don't know if I have the clip labeled properly. I think this is what you want.
La Puerta Negra.
That is, in fact, what you wanted. I'll give it to you twice.
La Puerta Negra.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question, Jake? And I would be genuinely very curious to see your setup. Is it all on StreamYard? You have all these clips? You have like an extra computer with like all the clips lined up on that computer? How do you just pull? You have to have 100 clips that you use on a daily basis. So.
And StreamYard's a pain because they only let you have up to 100 per slide. So I have 5 folders that are all maxed out. So I have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. I have 1,000 clips.
Yeah, I have 6 drops. Like that's like one of them, and I think that's too much. So kudos.
Look, the internet's a crazy place. Here's some advice on that.
Use the internet. That's what they invented these things for. Why do you think they invented these phones? They got Android. They got iPhone. They got that little thing called tablets.
I'm assuming just based on that clip that Jake did not know who Beast was, because the look of astonishment, like, and just confusion there was that was epic.
You could say that. Beast, how are you?
Sore. I just got off the crap for like 10 minutes ago.
Have you thought about maybe changing your diet so you are in less pain when you take a crap?
How about I just get one of them lazy bowls and then put the thing on and go,
Jake Klein joins us. Hello, Jake.
By the way, whoever this Beast dude is, like, he needs my services. Get him to give me a call, by the way. You're in a lot of pain right now, clearly. You got to do something about it.
Because the draft is Thursday, we're going to succeed.
With Woody Johnson as the owner, no, but nice try.
It's called We Will Succeed. How do you think Stone Cold got his Austin 316 and then, the skull in the back? Other side, jackass.
What's going on right now?
Haters are going to hate because they can't get
Jake, I came back for this. What is going on right now? Oh, my God. Am I witnessing that? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Any baseball player who goes through pain. Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, John Oldroot, Joe Carter, Andre Dawson, Rain Sandberg, Don Mattingly, Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, Reggie Jackson, Hank Aaron, Mo Vaughn, Carlos Delgado, Sean Green, Jose Canseco, even the great Roger Clemens, David Wells, Andy Pettit. These men broke their backs. Study your books. Come back to me. And when you do, I'm going to give you a test and see how much you learned. You did good, but you're a rookie still, kid. In 100 years, when we're all dead, maybe the archaeologists will finally find us by then. They'll probably look at us like we're ancient dinosaurs. Think about it. Think about it. Use the internet. That's what they invented these things for. Why do you think they invented these phones? They got Android. They got iPhone. They got that little thing called tablets. But you know what you got to do in life? You got to get what you need.
Oh, my God. What is this?
Just put your effort to it, kid.
Oh, my God.
Just learn. That's a code. Some people like to use it as a punchline.
Oh, my God.
I'm blind.
You're supposed to be like this philosophical guy who, knows, how to use his brain and intellect, but you can't handle Beast.
I don't know what that means.
What's wrong with you, man? Welcome to the game, bro. Bro, you know.
What is going on right now? I can't.
Beast, I don't want to talk to this dude.
I'll leave. Bye. I'll leave.
What's up? Peace, brother.
He now knows who the Beast is.
It's like his reaction is great. Like, basically, oh my God, what is this? And if you click on the first 45 minutes of your show, it's like, oh, okay, Jets talk. Your hour and a half you click on, it's pretty much, oh my God, what is this? It is it's definitely entertaining.
You guys laugh. It's not funny.
This is regurgitating.
Those are two fairly young men.
You want to see what a real man looks like?
They don't care. They think it's funny that they're sickly and ill.
This ain't no bullshit.
Beast and Gorman look great.
Yeah, they're both physical specimens.
Destructive but constructive.
That's extraordinary, yeah.
272 pounds, muscle and might.
I'm all thrown off here. I'm all flustered here. Can I get to my jet point?
Yeah, you could try.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't fuck off, I don't know what else will. Have a good day.
My favorite part is Gary, but can I get to my jet point?
I appreciate the quote, destructive but constructive. from how old is Beast? Because I would like to, I'm sure you've had some interventions for Beast. I think Beast needs to take care of himself because I don't know how old he is, but I've seen some guys kick it at about that age,
I think he's 41 or 42. Let me ask him. Beast, you there? Oh God, dark attic. This can't be good. Get up, Beast.
I saw an arm move.
Wake up. Wake up. Everyone, cover your ears. Turn your volume down. This is your warning because I'm about to sound the alarms. Get up. We got Gary and Bonesy right now. Get up. It's close, Beast. It's 52-48 Bonesy. Bonesy needs your endorsement. Put some lights on. Get up.
If he's napping, why doesn't he just close out the stream? I don't know.
That would make too much sense.
Does anybody want a nutty buddy?
Yeah, that's perfect. You just ended there, Jake.
How about a nutty buddy?
How old are you?
Have a nutty buddy with me. Come on, have a
How old
nutty
are you?
buddy. I'm straight. Hey, nutty buddies. I used to like getting nutty buddies.
Are you 41?
Oh, are you smoking that funny cigarettes? Get a rock turn that upside. Hey,
42?
Hey, my cell phone's go. Kyle, hello. Hey, he says he knows you. What's wrong
Joe
with
wanted
you?
to know how old you are, Beast.
Come on, man. You should know the number. It's 42, brother.
42.
Nice. Okay.
Now
Yeah.
Enjoy a nice,
Nutter
nutty buddy.
butter. Yeah. If I had one on me, I would do it too.
Not nutter butter. It's nutty buddies.
Oh, it's like the ShopRite brand.
Most of the things Little Debbie's ever came out with. And come on, let's sponsor Nutty Buddies together.
Good
They're
job.
friends.
There you go, Jake. You have a sponsor from Nutty Buddy in your DMs, Jake?
I can work on that.
There you go.
Hey, Beast,
Sponsor
did you vote
Nutty
for
Buddy.
Gary?
Hell no! He's a disgrace. He's a disgrace to me. He's a disgrace.
Who'd you vote for?
New York's very own. The law offices of Bonesy and Bonesy.
The law offices of Bonesy and Bonesy.
That's right.
Well, he is your attorney at law.
And the most respected lawyer in all of New York City.
Is
This
Bonesy
is
actually
true.
a lawyer? Is he a lawyer?
You didn't know this?
No, I don't think I knew that.
Now have a nutty buddy and enjoy yourself.
Shall do.
Joe, any other thoughts?
I don't know. I don't think I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be mean, so I have no thoughts.
If you ran into a guy like Beast on the street, because for those who don't know, Joe's a police officer, what would be your reaction?
It's about to be a long hour or two. I've dealt with it quite a bit before, but I think Beast will be cordial, right? Beast, you wouldn't try to punch a cop or anything like that.
No. What I do is, hey, my business is my business. If traffic's playing blocks, I just yell out, "Let's go, everybody, move!" Come on, everybody, pick your ass up and move it.
Hey, Beast, if you need a lawyer, who do you call?
You gotta call Bonesy and Bonesy in New York City.
Are you an
You
actual
want the
lawyer
best
or
lawyer?
what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Bonesy. Shout out to Gary. What a showdown between these two. 52-48 is the score. Bonesy with the slight lead over Gary. I've seen this go back and forth, though. Gary had the lead, then Bonesy. So these are truly two of the best head-to-head right now.
Yeah. Can I be honest? If I ran into Beast on the street, I would, and again, just like thing for me personally, I'd hope he had a couple of beverages, because if he has beverages, I could force him to go to the hospital and I don't have to wait for a mental health screener. If he didn't drink, I would have to wait for a mental health screener for multiple hours to get there. They have to talk to Beast and they'd probably go, "Okay, you got to go see the wizard." So if I saw Beast, I'm like, please God, have like a fifth of vodka on yours or something. But yeah, it'd be an interesting day, but I've definitely dealt with quite a few people like Beast, no doubt. shout out.
Hey, shout out to Jesse. He's in the raffle for 1. V-Man checks in. What up, V-Man? He's in for 2. Hey, Jake, been a while. Took some time off from football to clear my head because of a rough patch. Going in blind to the draft, but hope to catch up and return calling once I feel caught up on Jets news. V-Man, you're the best. Hope you're doing well. Say hi to V-Mom and the V-Man family for all of us.
I would love to be in his world right now. Just I don't even know what's going on with the draft. Just hope for because at the end of the day, right? None of it really matters, right? Like we analyze this stuff so much, and then we suck anyway. So I would love to be V-Man right now.
You're not wrong about that. M123 says, Joe, have you ever let a Jets fan get out of a ticket?
I haven't met anybody who I've dealt with in real life who's been like, "Oh, I know you from the show." I could just tell you personally. I am not the biggest go-getter out there who are like, "Oh, you rolled a stop sign. Let me stop you." You have to be going 20 miles per hour over, 25 miles per hour over for me to consider pulling you over. So I am not that dude. But yeah, if you're a Jets fan, I might let it slip depending.
There you go. You got to know the right people. Joe Blewett. Yeah. That's the official cop for Asmaniacs everywhere.
Yeah. Hey, if you ever get stopped by me where I work, let me know. You're a listener to Asman or me or whatever, and we'll see what we can do.
Love it. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. All right, let's get to your calls. Joe, you want to stick around for the Gary call because he's on the line?
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man trying to win the extraordinary region is on the line.
Extraordinary. Extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. It's quite extraordinary. Quite extraordinary. You know, women shouldn't vote. Just do laundry and vacuum. Extraordinary.
Yes, it's quite extraordinary. Yes, indeedy. Yes, sirree. Yes. Shout out. Good job today, Joe. Pretty good job out of you. Still remember 2 years ago when you were saying that the Jets shouldn't have drafted Bowers, and you did a whole tape on how Bowers was the wrong guy. How do you? I was the Bowers guy. I don't know if you remember. I used to call it every day. Say, we should take Bowers at 10.
I think he remembers.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jake, I'll let you know something too. That was the whole thing. Like Sack Exchange quoted he clipped my 1 hour or my 1 minute segment of like a 2 hour show about Bowers. And now he's reaching out and he wants to do a show with me. So we've squashed our beef. Gary, I can tell you that, and I have proof of it. I have receipts. Bowers was my 6th overall player in that class, and I had him rated over Fashion New. So I actually would have drafted Bowers. The only thing with Yeah. So the only thing I have the receipts. It's in a note where I haven't edited it since 2020 or whatever that year was. My question with Bowers was more so of I needed to see more contested catching to say that he's going to be like a slam dunk prospect. And I was transparent about saying that I didn't see it enough in the games I watched, but I heard the year prior he had much better contested catching. So I admitted that, hey, I don't have all the information here. With that all being said, he was my 6th overall player in the class. So I did not hate Bowers. So I could squash that noise right now.
All right, then that changes things. That
At
changes
least Olu's worked out. Like that's the thing. Like Bowers might be the better player, but Olu plays a premium position. Like we're set at left tackle now for what we hope is the next 7 to 8 years.
Okay, who would you rather have, D-Brick or Witten? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you have a very good tackle or a generational, once in a generation tight end. I'm not. Yes, the position Olu plays is far more important. Granted, but like.
I think D-Brick. I know the Jets didn't win anything either, but like Jason Witten wasn't carrying the Cowboys teams on playoff runs like D-Brick and that O-line was for the Jets.
Okay, I understand the significance of the position, but that's a once in a generation player. You pass on Bowers, you may never get another chance to take a guy like that again. There are
if
other
Bowers is Gronk or Bowers is Kelsey. I think I'm with you.
Gronk, so that's why I put Gronk aside. That's why I said Witten, the next best guy. Nobody's Gronk.
But those very few guys are like able to be that impactful at tight end, other than like those two, like maybe Tony Gonzalez, like in the modern NFL.
And now Bowers, right? Like and it was Gonzalez, Witten, Gronk, and now Bowers. Bowers is that next guy. I don't want to relitigate Bowers, but that's.
I mean, Black Bowers is definitely like the greatest player in the history.
I have so many old drops to go and cover now.
One question, and I want to make my pitch real quick. I'm looking at these cornerbacks, Hood and McCoy. We talk about premium positions. There's no more premium position in today's NFL than cornerback. I mean, I didn't ever hear these guys linked to the Jets. I feel like if we don't get one of the top 3 receivers, we're overdrafting receivers. So why are we going to overdraft Concepcion or Boston as opposed to taking one of the cornerbacks?
Yeah, I can't speak to like Hood and stuff like that because I haven't like watched them. I know that they're valued like mid first to early second, but I'm with you, Gary. Jake and I talked about it before. I think people are overlooking corner a little bit. You look at the team. Stevens isn't here after next year. Deshaun Wright isn't here after next year. AZ Thomas was good in 4 or 5 games that he played, but you have no idea if he's going to be a long-term starting corner. So if you have a corner there who's, like, I don't know how to quantify it, but let's say he's like an A overall at 16, and then Cooper is a receiver who we want more, but he's a B overall. Give me the A player, like give me the better player. I think the only position that's really not in talks right now or in the discussion is tackle, right? Because we have 2 tackles, but we don't have corners next year. Like we have 1 corner going forward after this year. That's AZ Thomas, who's a complete unknown. So yeah, if like Colton Hood is staring you in the face at 33 and you really like him, I'm completely fine with taking him. I know it's not a popular thing to say because we want guards, we want receivers, but you don't just draft for this year, right? You draft for 27, 28, 29 as well.
Exactly. And besides tackle, we kind of suck everywhere. So it's like whatever player we pick, so long as he's not a tackle, that's a position of need because we're pretty bad. We're pretty bad all around.
Yeah.
But real quick, appreciate everyone who's voted for me. This is going to be super tight again. They always are. Right?
50-50. I just saw 50-50.
Because at this point, I'm not saying I am like Trump. I'm just saying everyone knows whether they like me or hate me, right? And it's about 50-50. If there's anyone who splits the Asmaniac community, it's this guy. And both my last 2 contests have been 51-49. So
you talk about being split. Now, here's the thing, Dion. We have a rule. You can't send someone to the hole when it's their day to compete. So you talk about being polarizing. On a day Gary's competing, Dion tried to send Gary to the hole. Dion, I appreciate the gesture. I will put you down on the raffle for 10, but Gary cannot be sent to the hole unless I deem it necessary, and I don't think he's going to cross the line. So continue, Gary.
I thought Derek, the Jet fan, was the most butthurt that I'm still winning, or I've won all these rounds, but it might be Dion. Dion's come out of the woodwork today. He's a number one. I love all my haters, so shout out to you, Dion, but he might be my new biggest hater. I thought it was, of the callers, it was Gypsy. From everyone in the chat, I thought my biggest hater was definitely Derek, the Jet fan. Like, he was super butthurt that I beat the 2 girls and then beat Brigga, like super butthurt. But Dion is real. He's full of hate. He's been hating on me all day. And also Peter Castro, which is surprising to me because I've never said a bad word about Peter Castro ever. I've only said that he's one of the Dons of the family, that he's an OG. I don't know why Castro came after me in the chat, but shout out to Peter Castro.
Dion, I'm going to give you a rain check on this. All right. You could use this at a different time to send Gary to the hole on a day he's not competing.
But shout out to Bonesy. Bonesy, a hell of a competitor. I asked for this. So I shout out to the committee. You guys remember before the tournament started, I said, if I'm going to win, I'd love to be able to go through Bonesy. Like, that's my Patriots there, right? Like, Jordyn eventually had to go through Isaiah and the Pistons, right? If I'm going to win this whole thing, I'd like to go through Bonesy. I'd like to knock Bonesy out on my way.
Are you the Pistons or are you Jordyn? That's the question.
I'm not sure. I guess in this analogy, I'm Jordyn, right?
Well, Bonesy could be the Pistons who won back-to-back years. We don't know yet.
Well, then I got to beat him next year.
Or you could be Jordyn after the Pistons already won their 2 titles, and this is your opportunity to knock off the champ. We don't know yet.
The Pistons had to go through the Celtics and the Lakers. Jordyn had to go through the Pistons and then Magic. So it's all part of it. You guys put together a bracket to try to beat me. So far, it hasn't worked. And I've always said this is going to be my toughest match. But I don't shy away from smoke. I didn't root for other people. I didn't hope Bones got upset. I wanted to face Bonesy because I love all smoke because I'm a competitor. And he beat me. He beat me fair and square. And we determined that after about 25 recounts, he did beat me. All right. After I demanded a recount 25 times, he did beat me. But now I got to get my revenge. You have 10,000 new subs from last year, right? You had 35,000 last year. This time you got 45,000. That's 10,000 new subs who get a chance to vote for me. So I think I could beat him. I mean, it's obviously going to be very, very close again. Every contest I'm in is going to be very, very close. But this was the one I've always had circled on my calendar. This was the one I wanted.
Well, Gary,
and I give a shout out to the committee for putting me in this position. Thank y'all.
Best of luck to you. You and Bonesy are tremendous callers for what you bring to the table, and I'm glad this matchup is living up to the hype so far.
All right. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary 3D Boxing.
Did somebody say Brock Bowers?
Outstanding. By the way, another one from Dion I wanted to read. Gary lacks kindness, lacks integrity, and humility. Let's go Jets. And a good face of the organization, Bones. Dion, very kind. I'm not going to go down the path of reading the different Bible verses there because that's not my place, but I appreciate the support. And I will make sure that you get a future bounty on Gary when you want to use it on a day he's not competing.
Yeah, it's so interesting because he's so polarizing, Gary, that is. And then does Bonesy have one enemy on this entire show? Does anybody not like Bonesy? So it's
I can
really
think of
interesting.
one. Oregon Jet fan wanted to get into like a rumble with Bonesy once.
Okay, yeah. I know Oregon Jets fan didn't appreciate me with some of my Dante Moore takes, and I'm sure Sadiq a few weeks ago, he hates me. I know Holmes isn't a fan, and veteran Jets fan I see in the chat sometimes. So like you say, if you don't got those haters, you ain't popping. But talking about those Pistons teams, man, like, obviously it's a little bit different, right? With that Jordyn didn't play these teams, but like those early Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Billups, Hamilton teams were awesome. I love the NBA, like back in the early 2000s. I don't know if I'm like an old man, get off my lawn type of guy, but I just don't enjoy it like I used to. I wish basketball what it was in like the 2000s.
Peter Castro, by the way, just wrote in, Gary, I'm not a hater, but Bonesy is my guy. Charles Gorman chimes in, haters are individuals who hate things and people for no legitimate nor intelligent reasons.
It's pretty valid.
Gorman, you should call in because the guy that you're facing tomorrow on the show, he's on the line. He's our next caller.
Purple belt Mike, he loves the dark knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. So real quick, for Tyson, he's my wide receiver 0, meaning I want nothing to do with him because of the injuries. If he's going to be that injured in college, he's going to be injured here. We did it with D. Milner. Want no part of it. So he's wide receiver 0. I don't care. I'd rather have Cooper or anybody else over him. And then the next thing I wanted to ask you is, people have been talking about Tyron Montgomery. I think he's going to be a 3rd-round pick. I don't think we have a shot at one of 3 to get him. What do you think?
Yeah. So again, for the mid-round guys, I'm not that guy. That's like Dom or Dylan or guys who study the draft a little bit more than I do. But with Tyson, I can comment on that. Obviously, I'm going to put up my big board probably tomorrow, and I know it's going to go out on Twitter and people are going to kill me for it. But he's my receiver 5 for that reason, not receiver 0, obviously, because I'll take him over like a Boston or something like that. Just the risk versus reward there. I would take the swing on a Tyson, but I'm with you. He scares the hell out of me, man. Like he and Leon put it in the chat too. Like 43% contested catch rate this year, so something right around there. I don't know if it's exactly that. You know, the routes were inconsistent. The yak isn't there, so he has a really high ceiling, but it's not like he's some finished product who undoubtedly is receiver 1 if he's healthy. So the injuries scare me. He missed about 40% of his college games, and the way he moves, he puts a lot of pressure on those joints and stuff because of how explosive he is and how unorthodox he is. So I would be nervous even at 16. So I'm more so in your camp, PVM.
And the last thing about receivers, I think the really only can't miss prospect is Tate, because at worst case scenario, he is a wide receiver 2, like T. Higgins. Highest level wide receiver 2 is the worst case scenario for Tate. So I think for a can't miss prospect, Tate really is the can't miss, because T. Higgins went in the 2nd round, but he would be a 1st-round pick if you were going to redo it all over again.
Yep.
So for me, the can't miss prospect, if that's what we're talking about, really is Tate, because his floor is what T. Higgins is, you know? So I think I wouldn't care if we actually took him at 2 because of how much I like the fact that we can't miss. And we've had so many busts. Like, I don't – people forget, like, 1st-round picks are the currency of hope, and they fail 50% of the time, and that's only in the 1st round. So if you can get a guy that you know is going to be good and productive and help the team, why would people hate that? I don't understand why people are so against Tate with that, because it doesn't make sense to me that he's getting like, oh, he's a wide receiver 2, he's a wide receiver 2. His floor is wide receiver 2. He can be better than Garrett. I'm not saying he is, but he can be, you know?
Mike, just so you know, this is the beast, the Dane Brugler's breakdown on him. Wide receiver 43. he projects him as a UDFA free agent. So he's not going in the third round, at least according to this.
I was seeing somewhere that I don't know how old that is because I was seeing
it
somewhere
just came out like last week.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it changed in the week. I think it might have changed, but whatever. I was just curious because he was another guy that I would like to take if we could get like an extra third round pick if we're moving back from 33 or whatever. He would be the guy.
Look, I'd root for him because he's a D3 guy, and shout out to Division III football. But I think if the Jets take him, it's in the 7th round.
Wow, you think he's gonna make it to that?
I mean, look, he started playing college football in 2019.
Yeah.
He's old. He's an older prospect.
I think he's going to be good, though. I do think he's going to be a good player. I think he's going to be a good 4 or 5 wide receiver.
Are you nervous going up against Gorman tomorrow?
Dude, Gorman's a powerhouse, man. I mean, I got a 1% chance, but 1% is 1%. So we'll see what happens.
What's your approach to take on a guy who is just a loose cannon?
Well, he is the flatulator, so you gotta take that out. You know, you gotta find a way to get the stench out.
No, thank you. Jets. Let's go.
Good luck in your showdown.
I would recommend trying to grasp the simp vote. I don't think Gorman is wifed up. I know PBM is wifed up based on some of those intros. So you got to take advantage of the simps, and undoubtedly there are at least a few in here, like there is everywhere. So get some of those simp votes and bring out the wife if you have to, not to objectify her, but it is what it is. You got to win.
Donna in the raffle for 1. She became a channel member. Thank you, Donna. Also, one last question for you, Joe. This is from Nick, who I had the honor and privilege of meeting in KC at the draft a couple of years back. Nick writes in, Joe, how long have you been on? I have 12 years on the street in KC. I tried to get Jake to do a ride along when he was here for the draft, which is true, Nick. That was unfortunately the timing didn't work out, but Nick did offer, which would have been awesome.
The flexibility of his department to just allow a random dude to ride along is wild. And I saw somebody before like, I hope Joe Sargent doesn't see that. It doesn't matter. It's called discretion. You can have discretion for whoever you want for whatever reason. But nonetheless, I've been on for about 7 years now in Jersey. So I have 17 years left. I retire at 49, 50, and then I'm done for the rest of my life working, unless it's like something I want to do. So yeah, 17 years. I've been there for 7 years.
Hell yeah. You're an American hero, damn it.
I try my best. Try my best.
How do you think being a Jet fan has helped you be a better cop? You have patience?
Yeah, patience. I'm okay with disappointment. I'm good at being, I'm good with dealing with frustration, and patience is the number one thing. Again, when you have those beast type calls, you gotta be patient, and I'm used to just waiting.
Joe, you're the man. Appreciate all the film breakdowns leading up to the draft this week.
Yeah.
I'll have some stuff next week, I'm sure, to go over, and I want to get you on at some point during my streams over the weekend, just kind of reacting to everything in real time. We'll get your thoughts.
Okay, yeah. So I'll see you on the weekend, and then Tuesday we'll do some first round stuff. Or I'm sure people, if we draft Reese, they'll be like, stop it. So we'll talk about like second, third, maybe fourth round a little bit on the next show, and we'll break down every prospect. We'll get back to the free agents. We'll do a ton of stuff. So I enjoyed, kind of just not having the breakdown film on this episode, but we'll get back into it next episode.
Looking forward to it. Joe, you're the best. Appreciate you.
All right. Yep. Sweet. See you, Jake.
Joe Blewett checking in. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we are going to get into more of your calls. Make sure you vote for either Mr. Bonesy or for Gary 3D Boxing. We will be right back after these words from the Charles Gorman campaign.
Hey, everyone. I'm sorry. This is a promotional video for my upcoming matchup against the Dream in Asmaniac Madness. And I would like for you guys to vote for me because, one, I believe in achievement. People think I don't want to work, which is not true. I just had a bit of a nap not too long ago, too, so that didn't help. Believed in achievement, too.
Go look for a job. Do something.
I never consider myself a perfect person. I know I got some flaws to myself, but I do strive. I'm being a good person. I'm being a better person. I know a lot of you guys were shocked when I somewhat announced my allegiance to the Colts last season.
This team is a disgrace.
An error on my part. You know, if you need help in a battle to the gates of hell and back, I'll be there for you.
Hold on, I'm gonna pause right now. Hold on.
And I truly never forget what good things people have done for me. I'm sorry, I just had to hold on. Oh, my bad, everybody. As maniacs is that, my fellow as maniacs is that, I really care for you guys. I truly do. I know a lot of you guys were upset with my quote-unquote abandonment of the Jets last season, but I never really abandoned the Jets. I know what I said, but I never really abandoned means you left and never came back. Oh, that was a bad fart. With that being said, I will never abandon you in your time with me, regardless what team I love. Because, you know, my parents taught me to always give back to my community. Parents always taught me to be respectful towards others.
Fuck you, Dave Berger.
Look at you.
Look at me, look at me, look at me. I still have brain damage. You sure about that? This is what your parents produced.
And I think for the most part, I genuinely have tried my best to be a good, honest person as well as a respectful person as well. Right. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace out.
Gorman against PBM tomorrow afternoon.
Does anybody want a nutty buddy?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, let's get to your home stretch of calls. Again, get in the raffle if you want a chance at a Garrett Wilson helmet coming up at the end of our show. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello right here, right now, to a man who is out of his mind. It is the one, the only, Mad. Intro, please. Where is it? Max.
What do you guys' opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall?
What's up, Asmaniacs? Can you guys hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh, man, draft is 2 days away. You know, I agree with Purple Mike. You know, I thought, Tyson could be a good pick, but you know what? If he's injury prone in college, I think it's a big red flag in the NFL, honestly. I think Tate's can't miss, but you know what? I don't care what our receiver, as long as you know what, we need players that have muscles. We need players that fight. We can't have players that are wishy-washy or injured 40% of the time. In the case of Tyson, we need players who have balls, players who are fight, just those type of players. But I think number 2, Reese. I'm betting that Reese is going to be going over 2 over David Bailey. And then at 16, let's see, Sadiq could be a good option. I don't think Tyson. I mean, I'm fine with Tyson, but honestly,
can you hear me?
Is Spiesberg going on? Because the reason why his back is always in pain is because his diet's terrible. Why would you eat Oreos for breakfast? Or why would you eat a bar or a granola bar?
Does anybody want a nutty buddy?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Honestly, Beast, your diet is terrible because your back pain is terrible because your diet is terrible. Why would you eat Oreos for breakfast? Why would you have a nutty bar as a meal? Beast.
I love to break this fucking ball upside your head.
Professor Beast.
You are not a man. You're a little boy with a small little bit of brains and small little testicles.
Can you hear me?
Honestly, Beast, an icy hot doesn't hurt. It doesn't help you heal or hurt back. Having a better diet helps you.
Hell, I am the franchise, the one and only franchise. You are just some imposter with polyester shit on.
Good job.
You're nothing but weak. You're simple-minded. And
let's get a rumble on. Can we get Gary on? Because Gary is winning. Gary is going to win this matchup, honestly. Gary is winning it. He is not voter for a Beast.
Right under the 7-Eleven bus.
Can we get Gary on? Because he's winning this matchup right badly.
I need y'all to make 50 fake accounts, 50 burner accounts. They're not fake. They're real accounts. They're just burner accounts. And then go vote for me from all 50 accounts.
First of all, I'm Big Papa Pump, the big bad booty daddy, and you look like 125 pounds of wet diaper shit. You are not qualified to be in my league. I'm the big bad booty daddy, and remember these words: Big Papa Pump is your hookup. Holla if you hear me.
That's honestly, right. Give me your players that the Jets want to draft. I gave the 2 players you want to draft. Give me some players you want to draft.
I got the book right here. I got my book right here in front of me. right. Book of Jesus. The real Book of Jesus. Like you, punk, you still have not qualified in my league. Until then, take a back seat.
Can you
You're
hear me?
number 3 in my book, and you're never going to get past anywhere. The only thing that you're going to get past is dog shit and mustard manure from the crack of your ass all the way down to the toilet bowl.
Good job.
Beast, I know you have the Book of Jesus, but give me Mark 10:45. Give me that verse. Give me that Bible verse, Beast. Can you tell me what it is?
Why don't you worry about 2 things in this world? 1, worry about yourself, and 2, get out of my league, pal. You couldn't even hold my jock.
Beast, do you even know what Mark 10:45 is? You have the Book of Christ, but you don't know what it is, Beast. Trust me, you don't know what it is.
You have the ugliest Bart Simpson haircut I've ever saw. Me, I'm a sexy, god-looking powerhouse.
Beast, your haircut looks like something from the 1980s.
Here's the funny thing about you.
I have 180 pounds of pure muscle. You have 240 pounds of fat, Beast. You don't have muscles. Half your muscles is fat, Beast.
You're a scoundrel, and also you're nothing but a Stademazen Rattenberger. Ubex!
If Mad Max ain't yapping about jets, that boy, he's jamming. He's standing, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
Hola, Beast.
Nice try looking at Dos Caras Senior and Dos Caras Junior. And don't think I know who all those masks represent. Blue Panther, Blue Demon, even the great Stuka Jr. and one of my favorites in Mexico, the great Mystico. And also remember the great Jushin Thunder Liger, the only man that ever beat Ultimate Dragon in 1997 to crown all 9 belts, the J Crown belt that he did in Tokyo, Japan, at the Egg Dome in front of how many people? 68,000 in front of 68,000. He did it by beating the Ultimate Dragon. Ultimate Dragon, great wrestler, studied in Mexico at CMLL. Why? Japan didn't want him. Japan was known for a lot of things. How do you think the Mexicans and the Japanese exchange their talent? CML stars go to Japan. New Japan stars come to Mexico. They trade. They've been doing this for over hundreds of years. See, CMLL started back in 1923. 1923. It's been around.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm giving you a rundown of history that started almost 103 years ago. See,
well, my friends at I'll give you some history. Shut up. My friends at AEW were nice enough to send me this, and I want to give it to you, Beast. They're on sale now at the official AEW merch website. You just go to shopaew.com. They have every NFL team, including the New York Jets. So I want to give this to you, Beast. Your thoughts?
We'll see about that. But I went and ordered my Wayne Corbett jersey I just paid for it. Yeah, I spent $26 getting that son of a gun because let's see. I had a talk with the mail person today.
I don't really care.
Does anybody want a nutty buddy?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right. Try to do something nice to Beasts, and on that probably was expected. More of your calls before we wrap. By the way, it's 50-50 once again in Asmaniac Madness.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
It was 51-49 Bonesy. Now we're back to 50-50. The question has to be asked, how many accounts has Jets Johnny made to vote for Gary?
That you won, Gary. I created like 3 accounts today. I already had 4, so I was like 7.
Yo,
and it almost wasn't enough. So I'm glad.
Every
you did
vote,
it,
man. Every vote. I needed every vote. I appreciate y'all. Really.
Every vote matters.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you make multiple accounts and vote 50 times for Gary 3D Boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is Mr. Florida State.
I'm Ricky, New York, and I love to smoke. Florida State,
I really love Florida State. Jordyn Travis, you know it's from Florida State. At any rate, I call into smoking debate. Florida State, I really love Florida State. At any rate, thanks for taking my call, Jake.
Jake, what's happening?
Hello, Ricky.
I've been meaning to call in the last couple of days, but work has just been killing me. Like yesterday, I was literally sitting here and the screen said waiting for Jake Asman, and then I woke up at like 8:30 at night. Work is killing me. Yes, I am wearing the same shirt as Beast Breaker. Shout out Beast, repping my guys from Tampa, Florida.
Hell yeah. That's right. Handful of Rain, 1994. One of the greatest all-time albums Zach Stevens ever did with the drummer Jeff Plate, Johnny Lee Middleton, and also the great Alex Skolnick from Testament.
That's right. And also, awesome segment with Joe Blewett. I'm glad that he was able to kind of elaborate on that graphic that I sent you. He definitely said it, much more eloquently than I would have. Good stuff from Joe. Would love to meet him. Hopefully not in an official capacity. Hopefully I don't meet any police in a official capacity. Unless I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, in which case I'll probably run every single stop sign in hopes that it's Lavernius Coles pulling me over. Shout out Lavernius Coles, who is now a sheriff in Jacksonville. That being said, man, I am so glad we are only 48 hours away. I am ready to get this thing done. I'm tired of talking about who we might get. I want to know who we got and start breaking down the players we do have and stop speculating on what we might do. That being said, this is one of the only times I've been able to vote in the tournament. I did vote against myself for Lane. I did vote for Leany. I've been trying to vote whenever I can, but it's been tough this year. And I even voted for Gary today, even though.
Wow, you voted against the champ.
Even though I was wrongfully eliminated by Gary last year, because in his own words, women should not vote. So any female votes for Gary last year should have been disqualified by his rules, not mine. But just to show there's no hard feelings, I did vote for Gary. But man, this has been an awesome tournament. Charles is a powerhouse. And dude, shout out Chef Kev, man. He is going to be hard to beat. The other day when Kyle Clifton was on the Boy Green show, I heard that he was competing that day, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to vote for Clifton. Then I found out he was going against Chef Kev, and I was like, damn, you know what? I like both of those guys so much. I had to not vote that day because I could not pick between the two of them. But at any rate, yeah, great tournament. Appreciate all the Asmaniacs for even putting me in this thing this year. I know I haven't been around that much, but appreciate everybody. And man, you know what? In less than 48 hours, we are going to reload. We are going to come out of this thing looking like a different team and get ready to start competing because we're going to put a good product on the field this year. Let's fucking go, Jets.
Yeah.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
Good to hear from you, Ricky. Appreciate it. Garrett Wilson signed helmet is the prize. I have the Jets collective tonight, so home stretch of our show. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to shout out Johnny Bobani, who gifted one membership. Also, our pal, the Human Fund, who also sent in one gifted membership. They're both in the raffle for one.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
I saw a video of Gino and Garrett throwing some passes to each other today. The Jets tweeted that out. Lou B says, my one vote goes to Bonesy. See you at the draft. Lou B, I will see your ass tomorrow, baby. It's all happening. Let's go. Dion, Another 2 entries. He goes to @IndyJet. Okay, rookie, bring your views. Otherwise, have a nice day. I see Dion and IndyJet are fighting in the chat. Hence the super chat there. Did we get to Josh English's? I don't think I answered this, Josh. I meant to, and then we got distracted. You'd like to see Reese at 2, best receiver at 16, EMW at 33. That's the safety from Toledo, right? Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, and then 44, Jacob Rodriguez. I would like that draft a lot. I would prefer maybe 33 or 44 was another offensive player, an offensive lineman, maybe another receiver. But I wouldn't hate that. I'd sign for that now. I like Rodriguez a lot. I don't think EMW is going to be there at 33, but I could be wrong. Safeties do tend to slide. 50-50 once again between Gary and Mr. Bonesy. Did you have any doubt there'd be drama?
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Yesterday on the show, we had our first ever overtime period in the Elite Eight. It was the latest we've ever had OT in the tournament, and the big fella needed every vote. It was 51-49 even after overtime, 254 votes in 3 minutes. Those are the overtime rules. Right now it's 50-50. We still have the raffle coming up, and then after the raffle, then we'll close poll voting. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jake Asman Show is brought to you by my friends at IndaCloud. Let me tell you, all right, IndaCloud is something that I've realized how much I need. The older I get, the more I realize the best way to relax isn't going crazy. It's just getting the vibe right. That's where IndaCloud comes in. IndaCloud is fully legal, online cannabis. That's right. It's a fully legal online cannabis dispensary. They've got gummies, premium pre-rolls, and my personal favorite, the zero sugar THC sodas, which are perfect if you want to unwind without feeling awful the next day. Everything is federally legal, hemp-derived, THC, lab-tested, and shipped discreetly right to your door. For me, it's simple. I'm not trying to wake up the next morning feeling sluggish. I want to relax, still feel like myself, and be ready to go. One IndaCloud soda does that for me. Calm, clear, no regret. They got other options for everything, too. Gummies for stress, sodas for social nights, pre-rolls for winding down, and even $70 ounces that actually make sense long-term. Right now, they're running their biggest sale of the year. If you're 21 or older, go to indacloud.co. That's .co, not .com, and use code ASMAN for 40% off your first order. Again, that's indacloud.co, code ASMAN for 40% off all month long, plus free shipping on orders over $50 and free gifts on qualifying orders. And make sure you fill out that quick survey when you order to support the show. As always, enjoy responsibly. A big thanks to IndaCloud for backing the Jake Asman Show. Home stretch. Here we go. Last chance to get in on the conversation. Derek is next. Hello, Derek.
Hey, Jake. How we doing today, brother, man?
Derek, congrats on the raffle win. And look at you, clean shaven.
Hey, thanks, brother. Yeah, dude, I was so pumped yesterday. Yesterday, I about hopped up out of my chair. I love the morning show when you had Doc on and you were playing the old reruns on YouTube about the old Jets draft history. And I was like, man, I felt like I was in a time machine with how many times we've whiffed on the first round. That's the beauty of having 2 first-round draft picks and then 3 next year. You know, you get a little bit more margin for error. I thought those was really cool, though. I cannot wait, dude. I haven't been this excited for a draft probably since we had 4 and 10 and we got Sauce and Garrett. But I can't wait. I was wondering, do you think we're gonna see another OT today? I'm kind of feeling one.
We might. 51-49. Gary has retaken the lead just now.
Oh, nice. Oh, the Gary call earlier. No, it's not very easy to make me butthurt, brother, man. I'm pretty firmly on record in here saying that I do enjoy your calls. Just don't agree with everything you say, but you are a great caller, Gary. May the best man win. Love you and Bonesy both. It's been such a wonderful tournament. Everybody's been getting so into it. This is one of my favorite Jets off seasons of all time. Like living in Kansas, I don't really have any Jets fans around here, so it's really cool that I get to come in here and talk to you and all the fellow Asmaniacs and talk Jets all the time. It's probably the best part of my day. I work in the mornings. I drive a trash truck, so I can't always comment in the chat, but I usually try to put the show on and then listen. You do such a great job, man. I hope you have a safe flight. Much love to you and the show and all the fellow Asmaniacs. Draft can't get here soon enough, brother. JETS, Jets. Let's go, baby.
Derek, great call. Comment from Beastbreaker. He writes in, Gary is a cheater and a fraud. He's also a disgrace to the USA. Strong statement there from the Beast.
No, thank you.
More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is in action tomorrow against Purple Belt Mike.
No, thank you.
Yes. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Hey, Jake.
Hey,
I see
Charles.
you're wearing a nice Luchador Jets themed mask. I like it.
That's right.
For all you guys are wondering why did I type what I typed in regards to haters, it's kind of the truth. I mean, actually, you scratch that. It is the truth. They're basically irrational people, deranged individuals that hate things and people for no legitimate nor intelligent reasons. Just because they dislike something or someone doesn't mean they're haters. But I see that there's a back and forth between Mr. Bonesy and Gary. I did cast my vote. So, in case everyone, because people got on my ass for forgetting about yesterday's matchup, and I apologize to Leanie about that. I was busy doing other things. I had a friend's birthday party to go to. As you can see with the picture that I sent in the Discord yesterday, Jake.
How was the party, Charles?
It was good. My friend Jennifer, 38, we went to Top Golf in Edison. It was on.
Charles, call back. Your internet is trash. I want to hear more about your friend Jennifer, and we'll find out if you're going to maybe make sweet love to her, perhaps. Is that on the table, Charles? Here we go. More of your calls. 50-50. Oh, my goodness. 50-50. Gary and Bonesy going back and forth. Belly to belly. Who's going to win?
Want to go do some role playing?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, dickwad.
It's time to party. We're gonna party. Jets fans will party with Peg and Artie.
Hey, Peg. Nobody gives a shit.
Then you all stink.
Listen, bitch. Pay your fucking taxes, man.
This really wasn't what I expected.
Eat a bag of dicks.
It's time to party with Peg and Artie. We're gonna party with Peg and Artie.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jake?
Artie.
Asmaniacs. Hope all is well. I'm just going to get this out in front. I voted for Gary. Peg voted for Gary. Not because we don't like Bonesy. We love Bonesy. Combination of wanting to see somebody else win, get the glory that they deserve. Everybody left in the tournament's a well-worthy Asmaniac that deserved the win.
Well, Peg voted for a man who doesn't believe she has the right to vote.
She did, and I tell you what, but because of the same reason, we want to see somebody else win. And the other thing is Gary with his cold cuts and the nitrates really struck home. I like the fact that Gary, first of all, I don't think he's a scumbag. And I think he got a bad rap for cheating in the Asmaniac contest when there's no rules. So I thought he got a bad rap. I certainly don't think he's a scumbag. I think Black Gypsy, who I like very much, opened a can of worms that didn't need to be opened. So I think he took a little unnecessary heat. When he gets heat at his own by, doing his own thing. So, I mean, I didn't think that was necessary. So, anyway, yes, we voted for Gary. And
51-49, Mr. Bonesy is just retaking the lead.
Oh, Bonesy, you got to watch them bots at the end of this thing, man. Those bots come out to haunt you. Hey, Jake, I wanted to ask you, and I want to make a point about Charles also afterwards, but hey, you know how people are saying next year's quarterback class is so much better? Why take a quarterback early here when we're probably going to take another quarterback next year? Doesn't that apply too with wide receiver? Why are we wanting to trade up for Tate when next year's wide receiver group is so much better? And are the Jets really going to take two number one wide receivers in back-to-back years? Like first-round wide receivers? I mean, it just don't make sense to me. I'm kind of conflicted.
Well, you need playmakers, and like that's just it's a premium position. And like you can't worry about next year's receiver class. You got to be focused on like quarterback is the only position group you look ahead on because it's so important. It affects everything with your franchise.
All right. Well, I mean, I just want them to win. I don't care who they pick. I'm not going to pretend I know who's going to be good and who's not. Everything is such a crapshoot when it comes to this shit. But I just hope they do the right thing. It does seem like we have a GM that kind of has a clue of what he's doing, which is reassuring at the least. And you got to tell Charles, he can't come on here the day before his competition saying that he forgot to vote for people yesterday. Like the Asmaniac is not as important as getting laid. I mean, Jesus Christ, Charles. Come on, man, get it together. I want you to win.
I agree, Artie. Look, Gorman's a loose cannon, right, Charles?
Yes, I am a loose cannon. The reason why I mentioned that, Artie, how you doing, Artie?
Good, Charles. How are you?
Because people were roasting my ass on Discord. You know, Jake was saying, call me a fuck, excuse my language.
Hey.
Leany wanting my.
Hey, enough of this.
The family show, Charles.
Family show. Wow, Artie, I can't believe this.
See you later, guys.
Dion has sent you to the hole.
Oh, I'm proud. I finally did it. That's awesome. Holy shit.
Gracious.
Now look what you've done, Gary. No
I got
more
sent to the hole.
from the Asmaniacs.
Yeah.
Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down to the sidelines.
Straight from the hole. Mike Perez just bailed you out. You're a clown, Dion. You're back.
I was briefly in the hole. Oh, my God. No, all right.
You were going to the hole on behalf of Gary there. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Hey, listen, I call how I say it. I think Gary got a bad rap. I haven't met anybody that met him in person that said a bad thing about him. I'm sure I would love to meet him. I'm sure we'd get along great. And, you know, this Asmaniac Madness Challenge is the most unbelievable thing of the year. And, you know, we got to keep it going. See you later, guys.
Which says a lot about the state of our football team.
Absolutely.
Artie, you're the best. Appreciate you and Peg. Wow, what a back and forth here. Mike Perez, I got you down for 10. Dino, I got you down for another 10. Or Dion, excuse me, I got you down for another 10. You're up to 22 entries this show. I never thought I'd see the day Artie would be sent to the hole. Incredible. All right, I'm going to go back to Gorman now because we tried to get him on. We had some internet issues. Charles, I'm warning you right now. You better keep your cursing to a minimum because I'm tired of your disgusting, grotesque, potty mouth. Do you understand me?
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies and sports and video games and maybe hot chicks. Sure thing, Jack. Everyone was cursing me out on Discord. Is that better?
I don't know what you're talking about with the cursing out on the Discord.
They were saying F-bombs, call me a bum, call me a traitor, call me this.
Maybe a Nick Shines. I don't know about that. You're not in mine.
I know, but the thing is, Leany
sign up for the Patreon and get in mine, but you ain't in it right now.
Leany wanted my head. People wanted me to get locked up. The people got on my case for getting the vote. I was busy with so much stuff. Anyways,
so talk to me about Jennifer's birthday.
She's a friend of mine who has a boyfriend. His name is John.
Lover?
They're about the same age. I said boyfriend, as an actual boyfriend, not lover.
Are you the third?
No.
Okay. Have they asked?
We went to Top Golf in Edison. We had a good time. Food was good. The games were good. It's my first time there. Excuse me. And trying to think. Oh yeah, since I know I'm not on your Discord, Jake, I plan on coming back to your Discord eventually.
Well, great. I don't care about other people's Discord until you're in mine.
Love you too, Jake. But a lot of those members are also part of your Discord.
Are you the fallback guy in this relationship?
No, I'm an actual friend. Not a friend with benefits.
Are you in the friend zone?
She has a boyfriend, guys.
Would you say is this like a love triangle?
I'm not in love with Jennifer Sparrow.
Jennifer Sparrow? Any relation to Jack?
Ha 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 ha! No.
What are you eating there?
A cookie crumble sundae.
Is that from Friendly's?
No, from Top Golf. They serve food there.
Nice.
Anyway, I cast my vote for this matchup. I can see it's already a toss-up between Gary and Mr. Bonesy. Mr. Bonesy, I remember meeting him at the draft party. He was a really cool dude. Really down-to-earth guy. As for my matchup with Purple Belt Mike, I think it's going to be interesting. Purple Belt Mike told me in text the other day that he may get destroyed. I said, calm down, buddy. I said, calm down. I love Purple Belt Mike. I met him in person. He's a good dude. I know he works for the FBI and all, and keeping scumbags out in line, putting them locked up for where they need to be, especially with the cyber stuff. I know people say I should probably say something negative about Purple Belt Mike, but I'm not going to. I probably wouldn't be where I am in terms of wisdom wise if it wasn't for Purple Belt Mike. And this is the truth, man. Like, he's a good man. He's a good dude. He's he's a guy I would like to call a friend. Hopefully one of these darn days we get to hang out in person more often, other than with outside of the events that you and Nick Shine plan.
Leon says PBM's a real Jets fan.
Yes, I know. He's a real Jets fan. Yes. Not like me. Yes, I'm an awful human being, even though I'm wearing a Jets hat. Laugh out loud. I'm a fake. I'm a fraud. I'm a bum. I'm a jobless fraud and bum. Even though I've been applying the job these past few weeks.
Gator says Charles coming on here and having an all-out curse attack on what is said on other Discords, eating cookie crumble Sundays and watching one show a week. Crap maniac, #1 seed.
You damn right, Gator. You GD right.
Isn't Gator on the committee, Charles?
Yes. I know he hates me.
Tom A says PBM did buy PBW a Josh Allen jersey, didn't he?
I don't know. What do I care what people do with their money?
Black Gypsy says, I got you this week, Gorman.
Oh, hey, Black Gypsy. How are you, man? Once again, thank you for recommending I go to I'm sorry.
Have you thought about not eating as your mid-phone
I
call?
was going to stop myself, Jake. Thank you.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you've been doing this a while now. I don't understand why it's so hard for you to not eat your food in the middle of your phone call.
So I like doing it.
Well, there's 441 people watching live and thousands after that don't need to watch you chew with your mouth open.
Well, that part I need to stop, yes. What I was going to say was, Black Gypsy, thank you for recommending I try those hotel places a couple
Leon
of weeks
says,
ago.
Gorman is disrespectful. Who eats when you're talking to someone?
Yes, I am disrespectful, Leon M. I'm disrespectful.
You did once wipe your ass during a call on the show.
Yes, and I liked it.
You're sick.
We're all sick, Jake. We're all sick. A lot of us are Jets fans, but we're all sick, Jake. We all support crappy stuff from time to time.
Well, Charles, good luck tomorrow, you wacko.
Love you too, Jake. I'll talk to you later.
You guys laugh. It's not funny.
This is regurgitating.
Those are two fairly young men.
You want to see what a real man looks like?
They don't care. They think it's funny that they're sickly and ill.
This ain't no bullshit.
Beast and Gorman look great.
Yeah, they're both physical specimens.
Destructive, but constructive.
That's extraordinary, yeah.
272 pounds, muscle and might.
I'm all thrown off here. I'm all flustered here. Can I get to my jet point?
Yeah, you could try.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't fuck off, I don't know what else will. Have a good day.
Now back to the Jake Asman Show, live on the internet. Go to commercial, please. I'm doing business. Thank you. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Sayonara. Arrivederci. Ciao. Ding dong day. Ding dong day. I said ding dong day. Ding dong day. You egg sucking dogs. Don't you get the message? Essays. It's like, do I gotta go Eddie Guerrero on y'all, Holmes? Like, what's the deal? Essays. What's the deal, Holmes? Get it? Would y'all get it together? Essay. Don't worry about what I do.
What are you doing, bro?
I'm just enjoying my day, like Eddie Guerrero. I'm not doing anything, Poppy. Just doing your thing. It's called Arriba la Raza.
I guess so. Did you send Jake that lucha mask?
Say what? Man, did somebody put a little drugs in his water today?
Oh, okay. Jake wasn't wearing a lucha mask. You're right. He wasn't.
AEW sent it to me, big fella.
Oh, that's sick, bro.
New sponsor of the program, Beast. I figured you'd like this. I'm going to send you one, but then you weren't very appreciative of it.
We'll see. We'll see what happens first.
That thing is awesome, man.
I will send you one then, Beast. I'm going to give this to Lou B so he could wear this representing the Asmaniacs in the pit when they show the Jet fans on TV on Thursday.
I'm his enforcer. That's
right. Now you can't move.
I can't move, huh?
Big fella's the enforcer. I've met Big Fella. He's a big fella.
Look at that vein. Look at that vein right there. More game than Parker brothers. More gift the gab than I got and get the slab. But hey, I might throw the jab, but I'm the hottest thing that walks the face of this planet. And I am the hottest thing that walks the face of this planet. Why? Great looking body, powerful physique. And when it comes to truth, fact, and facts, I know when it's time to throw, and I know when it's time to go. But when you can't blow and you can't blow, you gotta go, Reese.
Well, he just shut up some. God damn it.
Anyway, big fella, the floor is yours.
Hey, man. Great show today. I couldn't watch most of it. I was doing stuff. I tuned in when you had the Lucha mask on. I was like, what is going on, dude? It's crazy. Close matchup right now, man.
50-50. I'm just saying. Any advice for Bonesy and Gary if it takes overtime for the second straight show to decide this?
Hey, man, just pray. That's it. I wanted to talk a little bit about yesterday. I know that it ended in like an odd number and everything, and there seems to be some people that are a little upset about that. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Leany was a great competitor, man. I got nothing but love for Leany.
I mean, YouTube doesn't do percentage points, so all we could do is go by what we've done for the entire tournament. We go by just the concrete percentage number they give us, the whole number. It said 50-50. Yes, there's 591 votes.
Yeah.
But there's nothing we could do about it. Then we did a 3-minute overtime period, and you won an overtime, 51-49. So how can people be upset with the results here?
The funny thing is like they assume that Leany had the one extra vote. You know, who knows who was ahead at that point, you know?
Right, we don't know.
We don't know. So I don't know. It's just funny. Like I yesterday it was interesting, man. Let's just say it was interesting seeing the reactions, but whatever. You know, it's all good. I'm having a good time with it. Do you know what day I'm going against Chef Kev, by the way?
Tuesday is the projected target date for your guys' matchup, and then Wednesday will be the other side. We'll have an off day Thursday. Championship will be Friday, May 1st.
Okay, that sounds good, man. Kev, I love you, buddy. We should actually meet up and do like a face-off pose or something like that in front of Cloverleaf. That'd be legit.
Oh, because you're nearby. That'd be great.
Yeah. No, that'd be sick. I may propose that to him. You know, that would be awesome. So, anyway, Chef Kev, I love you, buddy. It's gonna be tough to go against you because there's really nothing bad to say, man. You're an awesome dude. So, we'll see what happens, but let's just hope the Jets don't screw up the draft, and I hope you have a good time in Pittsburgh, my man.
Big fella, you're the best. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Dangerous Alliance region, the big fella, yeah.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
I'm going to do one more call, and then after this call, we're going to do the raffle, then close voting. It's 51-49 now. Bonesy with the slight lead. This is anyone's battle right now. Anyone can win. It is this close, this tight. Ladies and gentlemen, today's closer is...
You're going to have a blast in Pittsburgh, by the way. There's a lot of fun to be had there.
I'm excited. Hopefully the Jets give us a lot to celebrate.
Yeah, I took I think it was close to a 10-hour local train ride there for the AFC Championship game.
Really?
And I loaded up with a huge suitcase of Miller Lite, and it was gone by the time I got there. So yeah, and I went with my now brother-in-law. This was about 2010, whatever. So yeah, and then when you get there, if you have a couple in you, it's very disorienting because I didn't find the city to be very well lit, and it was dark, and there was rivers everywhere.
Wonderful.
Don't go falling in the river, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I appreciate it.
What time does the collective start?
Collective will start at 8 Eastern tonight.
All right, awesome. More Jake on the way out the door. Yeah, I've gotten to the point where just take down the best player. I mean, I don't know who was saying that, Moji's profile, I think it was McShay was saying Moji's profile, because he doesn't really know him from people that he's talked to, is that the guy is just risk averse. So I think that we can put any fears about Jermod McCoy kind of out the window now with today's news. But, to, Joe's point, if the lane was there, I don't know. Like that seems like it'd be pretty good value at 16. I wouldn't love it because it doesn't really fit the need. But in the first half of the draft, you got to take the best player. So it's like it's a little frustrating having that spot. We really, really desperately want to get out of that spot one way or the other.
I agree with you. If Delane is there, why would he be there, though, is my thing.
Right. I don't think he will be. But I think the argument is that someone that we don't think is going to be there is going to be there, right? Like whether it's Ione or like one of the 3 receivers or, maybe Malino is there. Who knows? Like I wouldn't think so. Maybe Downs is there. I wouldn't think so. But like it's entirely possible in a safety, laden draft that maybe Downs falls to like 13 or 14. It doesn't take that much to go up and get him. Right, and the team that's picking is set at safety, and they want an extra pick, day 2 of next year, talent-rich draft, something like that. Right, you go from 16 to 14. Those are the kind of things that could happen. Maybe a pick swap to make it worth their while. That's something that I'd be interested in. But this is a great matchup today. It's been a great show. May the best man win. And there's a good chance that the winner is going to come out of today's matchup. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow's as well. This has been a great tourney, and kudos to you and the committee for putting it on.
Kyle, excellent call. And man, it's 50-50 right now going into the raffle. My goodness.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you make multiple accounts and vote 50 times for Gary 3D Boxing.
50-50 right now, baby. Gary 3D Boxing, Mr. Bonesy, head-to-head. It's all on the line. You want drama? You got drama.
Women need to vacuum and shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Drama of all drama. We have Gary, the 1 seed. We have Bonesy, the 3 seed. Oh my goodness gracious, of all the dramatic things we've ever seen. All right, let's get to the raffle. After the raffle, we will close voting. And if we need to go to overtime for the 2nd straight day, that we will. But right now, time to bring on the master of raffle ceremony.
Eric Bishop here, live from the control center. Are we ready for our raffle? Bring in the wheel.
Oh yeah.
Bring in the wheel, please. Now, we are going to get a winner right now. As I got my hands on this wheel, we are going to spin the Wheel of Champions and go and get a winner. So let's get a winner.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Oh, baby, here we go. Good luck to everyone who's entered. Black Gypsy, the last to enter, as he typically does. He is in for one at the buzzer here. Let's put him in. All right, no more entries this episode. Every entry going forward will be for our next daily raffle prize. Here we go. If you win, you have to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, your name and your address. The polls will close shortly. I see Bonesy's in the chat. We know he's at his kid's soccer game. He goes, thanks for all the love and support, my peeps. This is as good of a battle as you'll get. And yesterday, we needed overtime. So just speaks to the greatness of this community. All right, here we go, folks. One spin to determine a winner. The winner of a Garrett Wilson signed helmet is Jay Petito. Congratulations to Jay Petito. Shoot me an email, asmanjake@gmail.com. And the Garrett Wilson helmet is yours. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time now. We need a winner in Asmaniac Madness. We are officially closing the polls. And the winner is, 50-50 overtime. We're headed to overtime. Gary 3D Boxing, 50. Mr. Bonesy, 50. 756 total votes were cast. Did you have any doubt? Oh, my goodness gracious. For the second consecutive show, the second consecutive Elite Eight battle, we are going to overtime. 756 votes. How many did Jets Johnny make? We don't know.
That you won, Gary. I created like 3 accounts today. I already had 4, so I was like 7.
Yo,
and it almost wasn't enough. So I'm glad.
Every
you did
vote,
it,
man. Every vote. I needed every vote. I appreciate y'all. Really.
Gary has needed every vote. Mr. Bonesy has needed all of them. He's had people from Alden's vote for him. People from the law firm vote for him.
Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer.
Of all the dramatic things I have ever seen, for the second straight day, we need overtime to determine who's advancing to the Final Four. Here's how this works. 3 minutes on the clock on my timer. All right. I'm going to repost the poll the same way 756 of you voted. You will need to vote once again. So the poll will open. You vote either Gary or Mr. Bonesy. Whoever has the most votes at the end of the 3-minute overtime period will advance to the next round, aka the Final Four. If they're tied again, then we will go to double overtime, which will be 2 minutes on the clock, same format. Ladies and gentlemen, overtime for Asmaniac Madness between Gary 3D Boxing and Mr. Bonesy is underway. We are underway. Vote, vote, vote. The timer is going. And when the 3 minute is up, we will close poll voting. Again, it's Gary, it's Bonesy. You can only vote once. You're supposed to only vote once. You know how that goes in this tournament. This is unbelievable. Oh, my goodness. Of all the dramatic things we've ever seen here, folks, let's go.
Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
We are officially a minute into overtime. 1 minute and 53 seconds on the clock here. I got the timer in front of me. I am following it closely. We got it up and running right here. Vote, vote, vote. 53-46. Gary leading. 54-46. Gary leading. 53-47. Gary leading. The votes are coming in. The votes are in right now. Keep voting. Vote, vote, vote. Overtime is the deciding factor here for the second straight show. We've had 299 votes and counting so far. We're up to 301. 54-46, 302. Vote, vote, vote. Your vote determines who advances to the final four of Asmaniac Madness. Oh my God. You got to be kidding me.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Vote, vote, vote. Let's go. 40 seconds left until I close the poll. 40 seconds left. Gary, 54. Bonesy, 46. Will the defending champion be dethroned in overtime? 55-45. Gary leading. 23 seconds to go. We're down to 20 seconds. It looks like Gary's in control. Is there a late surge from Mr. Bonesy? 55-45 the score. 352 votes have been cast. Here we go. 7 seconds. We got 5 seconds. It's like Al Michaels right now. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Close the poll. And the winner is new Gary 3D Boxing 56, Mr. Bonesy 44. The champ has been dethroned, and Gary 3D Boxing has won the extraordinary region. We will not have a repeat winner in Asmaniac Madness. Hit it.
Extraordinary. Extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. It's quite extraordinary. Quite extraordinary. You know, women shouldn't vote. Just do laundry and vacuum. Extraordinary.
Gary. Congratulations, Gary. Congratulations.
That was fun. And shout out to the arm. Shout out to Bonesy. Shout out to Bonesy. I mean, hell of a competitor. He beat me last year. I exacted a little revenge. I needed every last vote from the army. Shout out to you guys. I just want to thank God. Amazing blessing. God put me at a calm today, and I felt good. So,
Gary,
it's all for His glory. It's all for His glory. What up, Bones? I got you.
Oh, we lost him. Here was the 50-50 in the poll voting. And then let's see. Here was the overtime voting. 56-44, 360 votes were cast in the 3-minute overtime session. Wow, what a battle.
That is a lot of votes. That is a lot of votes in 3 minutes.
There are 436 people watching the show right now, so it does make sense.
That is a lot of votes. That is 2 votes per second for 3 minutes. That's a lot of votes.
Well, Gary, you're headed to the Final Four. You'll face the winner of PBM and Charles Gorman. Give us your initial reaction to the potential of either taking on Gorman or PBM in the Final Four.
Oh, whoever, they're both great competitors. So whoever I get is who I get. I think I have an inkling on who's going to win. I think I have a feeling, but right now I just want to thank God for this and thank the Army for this. You guys are a blessing. I really could not get it past 50-50. It kept going 51-49 Bones and 50-50. I was like, this is like when I went against Amanda, but opposite, and I edged it out in the last second. I was just nervous until the last second because I was never up, right? I was never up. Early on I was, but I was always like 50-50 or 51-49 Bonesy. So it's a blessing. I think I know who's going to win, but me and Kevin, I told Kevin, we're both going to cut the nets down, and we both did. Maybe I'll see you in the finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, your look at the bracket. We now know that it will be Gary representing the extraordinary region. So 3 of our 4 final 4 Asmaniacs are set. We need one more tomorrow. That will be sometime around 4 p.m. Eastern, assuming everything goes okay with my flight and the internet in my hotel room works properly. We got Gorman, the 1 seed, against PBM, the 3 seed. That will be a highly anticipated battle. The winner will take on Gary 3D Boxing after he defeated the defending champion, Mr. Bonesy, in overtime. And Mr. Bonesy is called back in. Let's play our champ in properly.
The only thing worse than the New York Jets is cheap-ass shoes and head coach blues. At least we got Muji and some first-round picks. Jake, my brother, I'm trying to get hype, but this team sucks, and Joe Bonesy needs me to sell new flippers to this fat dumpster fire.
What a run for you, Bonesy. What a run.
Guys, I got bad service. I hope you can hear me. Gary, great battle, man. You know,
it was a lot of fun.
Saying it from the beginning. This tournament felt like it was about entertainment. You know, last year's tournament was 3 years of Jets fandom, Asmaniac Madness, and you know, it felt different last year, and this year was definitely about entertainment, and you take that all the way. I commend you for that. You entertain us through these bad times. You have great takes in terms of making us laugh, making us get mad, making us fight, making everybody go at each other, and then once the Jets season will start, we'll get back to loving each other. So thank you for everyone who voted for me, all the support, man. This shit is fun, keeps us going. And Gary, Chef Kev is waiting in the wings. Let's see who's gonna win tomorrow.
We both gotta win one. We both gotta win one more showdown, right? It's not that yet. We both gotta win once more.
I just feel like tomorrow's battle, PBM and Gorman, they got a juggernaut waiting for him, man. If I can't beat you, this is it, brother.
I wanted to go through you because you were the champion last. If I could beat Bonesy, I said I could beat anybody. Like that was the litmus test. If I could beat you, then there's no one in the tournament I can't beat. So shout out to you. You were a hell of a champion, and I only got one thing left to do: win the whole damn thing.
Cut the nets down, baby. You know, Jake, thank you for getting us through this. I mean, the draft is here. This is what we've been all waiting for.
My God.
So now we're about to be here, and we can finally move on. I'm very excited for Thursday. And again, shout out to everybody. Shit was fun. Glad we could make an entertaining battle. And sorry that I couldn't be as entertaining as Gary. I'm a Jets battler. Gary he could battle anything. So Gary's more talented in that regard. So
congratulations, Bones. You were a tremendous champion, an ambassador for Asmaniacs everywhere over the last year.
You were a hell of a champion.
Make a really good speech if you win this, brother.
I got it.
Got cut off.
I got you. I could. We got a ways to go till that. Is job finished? I don't think so. Job not finished.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Job's
Mr.
not
Bonesy.
finished. You versus Chef Kev, man. I see that in the finals. I don't want to throw no shade to Gorman or PBM, but if you could take me down, this is gonna be a tough battle for whoever wins tomorrow.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you make multiple accounts and vote 50 times for Gary 3D Boxing.
Shout out to Bonesy, great champion. Obviously, just the man beloved. And the fact that the defending champ, for him to be dethroned, it needed overtime, just speaks volumes on how great of a tournament this is, how great our community is. So congrats to Gary. Certainly earned it. I mean, overtime was insane. And to have overtime for the second consecutive show is nuts. I want to give a special shout out to Boomtown and the rest of the committee, because I know there were some people with some gripes with some of the matchups early, some blowouts early. There's supposed to be blowouts early. And that means the committee's doing their job. We've had some upsets. Leany was a 16 seed, added some great storylines. But let's call it for what it is. The fact that we've had 2 regional finals need overtime speaks volumes on how close everything is. And Clifton and Chef Kevin was incredibly close as well. So the Elite 8 has been incredible. And I'm sure PBM and Gorman's going to be electric tomorrow as well. Unbelievable. I felt like Al Michaels doing like the countdown. You got 7 seconds, 5 seconds. Do you believe in miracles? Dion says, Sai, a cheater with no integrity wins. Sad face. Dion, appreciate your support. If you're anti-Gary, you're going to have to keep voting against him for at least another round. Colin Wolford, gifted 5. Colin, thank you. I'll put you in the weekly raffle for 5. Let's go.
Does anybody want a nutty buddy?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Colin, thank you very much. All right, that does it for me. I'm on the Jets Collective tonight at 8 Eastern, which means I have just enough time to scoff down some Chipotle and then move on with the rest of my evening. You guys are the best. Big thank you to everyone who tunes in. Congrats to Gary and Bonesy on a incredible Asmaniac Madness battle. We have one final Elite 8 matchup tomorrow. That will be in the afternoon. I will not have a show that is live in the morning because I'm flying to Pittsburgh. However, I have a great interview that I taped in advance with Evan Roberts of WFAN that will air on the channel instead. So you guys will still have new and fresh content coming your way because it's draft week, baby. This is what we do. JETS, Jets. Join my Patreon like Charles Gorman did, I see during the show. If you want behind-the-scenes coverage from Pittsburgh, get in that Discord. It's where all the magic happens. In honor of Gary's big win, we take you back to yesterday's showdown against Sean. Go Jets, everyone, and congrats again to Gary and Bonesy on a great battle.
Gary, you talk about women for one.
We're tone facing now. That's what we're doing. We're
kitchen servers.
I don't like your tone. That's what we're doing now. God made women to be man's helpmate.
So it's an archaic way of thinking.
God doesn't change, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but times change. Why are you such a narcissist that you act like you're a god, but you're not?
That's a logical fallacy called begging the question. There's nothing about
Gary. Do you abuse your wife?
No, I don't abuse my wife. I love my wife. We are one flesh.
I don't believe so. You cheated on the rules of the gas.
What rule? I need y'all to make 50 fake accounts, 50 burner accounts. They're not fake. They're real accounts. They're just burner accounts. And then go vote for me from all 50 accounts. Cite the rule that I broke. Cite it. You said I cheated, which is a lie. So now I'm going to put you on the fire, and you're going to name the rule. You're going to cite the rule that I broke. If I didn't break a rule, just admit that you're a lying scumbag. Name one lie. You lied once. Now you're lying again.
Gary, you are pissing me off.
Do I look worried?
You are fucking liar.
Yeah, brother. Here we go again with this crap.
And you'll always be a loser.
Good for you. Maybe one day I could be a winner like you.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you make multiple accounts and vote 50 times for Gary 3D Boxing.
Use the internet. That's what they invented these things for. Why do you think they invented these? These phones. They got Android. They got iPhone. They got them little thing called tablets.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.